It's the last one, the final episode of our Touchstone year here at Club Flashpoint. Welcome back. My name is Dale Flashpoint. And over to that way of me, we have co-host and fellow podcaster.
Hi, I'm Faden Cross.
And to the other that way, we have special guest, Uncle.
Yes, I am Uncle, a friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Uncle. Not our uncle, but just friend of the show, Uncle.
It's your uncle, though, you, listener.
Yeah,
we got your uncle. They're going to help out.
We hired your uncle.
I am he, and I am here for you. I am Uncle.
Perfect.
Our final episode of the year.
Of all of our
year.
Touchstone games.
Yeah. Dale picked 6. Faden picked 6. We played 12.
We played 12 games.
An excellent number.
We played a little more than that.
An excellent number. I can't...
Remember in July when we did a theme and played actually like 6 games?
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Yeah. So we played maybe 24 games.
That's right.
Not 24. 18. Math only works so many ways.
You can find the list on my backlog?
Yes.
I forgot I made that.
Faden has put together a backlogged, like Letterboxd, but for video games. Backlogged. So it's like, there's no ED, it's just D.
Right. There's no ED, thank God.
Backlogged. .com, or is it backlog.duh?
I'll just put a link in the episode notes.
The link will be there, and you can see every game we've played this year and last.
Mm-hmm.
As Club Flashpoint.
It's just going to continue. Just so I remember mostly, because I sometimes forget.
It's nice to have the annals of history to look back upon.
But here we like to talk about one other game besides our game club game that we like playing.
Yeah, before we get into the meatiness of our Touchstone memories.
Yeah, we're going to throw it to Uncle. Uncle, what game have you been playing this month that you want to talk about?
Uncle has been playing a game that no one has ever heard of and has never ever been played by any other podcaster. That would be Baldur's Gate 3. It's this really niche, small game nobody really knows, but I just got into it. A friend of mine gifted to me, actually.
I hear that's an indie game.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is wonderful. It's very fun. It reminds me a lot of the game we're talking about today, KOTOR. And I think that's why I've enjoyed transitioning into it so quickly after finishing Knights of the Old Republic.
What's your build?
My build currently is the only build I ever seem capable when starting a new fantasy game, which is a sorcerer, and I almost always choose dragon-blooded sorcerer if I'm forced to play within the context of Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Yes.
As we all are forced into the context of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. Yeah. I chose Githyanki because I don't really know shit about them, and I thought that would be interesting and fun.
They look sick.
Yes, I think they're really cool, and yeah, it's a nice game.
They're space orcs, the Githyanki, kind of.
That's an excellent description. They're goblin-shaped space orcs.
Goblin-shaped space orcs.
Yes, swamp elves. Yeah,
sure. Playing it, I just don't.
I can't wait.
Do you have a favorite NPC?
Not so. This, unfortunately, although I'm enjoying the game, not really yet. I'm not a huge fan of the companions, but I don't know them that well. I've just started. They're all fine. They all seem very gimmicky.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What I think that's Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
Yeah. But Astarion's fun. He's incredibly useful as well, so I almost never don't take him.
Nice.
Yeah.
The nastiest of boys.
Oh yes, I'm enjoying what I'm getting so far. And Lizelle is
the best.
Yeah, I'm a fan. And being a Githyanki, she's teaching me how to be Githyanki, which is very helpful.
Cool.
Because I don't know shit.
I love being ridiculed at every step of the way. I love just saying something and she'll be like, you, or whatever, like evil, whatever word for idiot it is she's calling me this time.
Oh, yeah. No, I see what happened was she corrected me 1 or 2 times and I realized I liked her too much to keep doing that. And so I've just decided my character is very, very influenced by her.
I just like always have this weird aspect though of like what sort of cultures that it takes from in the real world
Yes.
and applies to these sort of like races and what they're deterministic like.
Really clumsily too.
Yeah, like all the weird
Yeah.
like them I get trying I don't know, to do it, but like I don't think it works for a lot of cultures, especially the ones that are like very clearly evil, because is there just some clear like this is the group that's kind of evil?
Yeah.
You can maybe make a case. Yeah,
really,
and so
it does.
the general trend to put minority cultures as usually the evil race is very heavy in this game still.
Yep.
It really doesn't do anything subversive to stop that from happening. And I think a lot of people make the argument that, well, that it's trying to do this or that, in a more progressive or moralistic way. But I think in the context of maybe like a Disco Elysium, it's a moralist game, right? It wants you, and I think all the BioWare games are very similar.
Oh, yeah.
And very frustrating. Very
games.
Frustrating in that way. How very literal the binary of good and bad decisions is.
Do you want to play as an elf? Okay, or dark elf? Okay, you're evil.
Yes. Yes.
And I think I've noticed people have stopped really paying attention to that now in actual spaces of playing Dungeons and Dragons, but I also just sit there and think, could be playing something else.
Yeah.
Could just play Blades in the Dark.
Could just play Blades in the Dark.
And before you guys, I really didn't know anything about those other options. I wasn't that curious or searching for them, but I really am quite grateful for you both in introducing me to other games besides Dungeons and Dragons, because it's frustrating how limited it feels.
So, Faden, when are we going to start our tabletop club?
Oh, God.
Tabletop Club podcast.
No.
That's quite an editing job.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Are you going to multi-class?
I probably will, because I'm already bored. I think
you can always reclass.
Yes, I'm already planning. Well, I don't have plans. I just make decisions. So I'm planning to make decisions that are different. So that is my current plan. Because sorcerer is fun and charisma heavy. Persuasion is always my first playthrough in these style of games.
Oh yeah, you got to see all the dialogue options.
Yes.
Yep.
But I'm bored. So it's fun. I like it. It's a good game. But I'm easily bored.
Favorite spell? That's the actual question I just got
As a sorcerer.
Yeah.
As a sorcerer. It's so boring, but Fireball is just so much fun. You could do so much damage. Yeah. I love my fireballs.
Don't know what you're doing.
It's Pitbull.
Oh, okay.
I'm a fireball.
It's a reference.
I wasn't ready for Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide coming from the 305. I like Miami, Miami, Miami Fireball.
You've correctly and accurately summarized why I like the spell.
Does that go off in your
Yeah, every time.
Like, oh, a room.
You know there's a mod that
I wish it was that much fun, but now I think it is going to be the case.
Heck yeah.
Just get into the sound files, replace the Fireball sound with Fireball by Pitbull.
Yes. Detect Thought is my other. I really love Detect Thought. It makes reading people easier.
Oh yeah,
I'm bad at that.
Just probing their mind, it makes them easier to read.
Oh yes, you get right to the point.
Right to the point.
Can I go off on least favorite spell?
Yeah. You can.
I would love for once in the game, just once, to be able to target an enemy with the spell Hold Person, and have the text "Target must be humanoid" not fucking pop up.
Ooh.
We've been fighting undead after undead after undead, and so it'll be like, here's this necromancer that looks like a human.
Yeah.
Surely must be. No, they're considered an undead enemy, and undead is not humanoid.
That is remarkable. That makes no sense.
So for the last, I think, all of Chapter 2 so far, we're in Chapter 2, I've not been able to cast Hold Person on anything we fought.
Oh, my.
Which is just utterly frustrating.
Yes, that sounds very frustrating. I'm glad I did not choose that spell yet.
Yeah, I would avoid it.
I had Hold Person in Act 1, and I also barely used it.
You've got a better Hold Person. You've got that Entangle spell as the druid.
No, I had Hold Person. I had the exact same spell.
But, like, Entangle is just better utility-wise.
It is.
Because it does damage, too.
Right, absolutely. That's why I got rid of it.
Yeah. Hold Person sucks. Sincerely, a bard who's very frustrated.
Ooh, I think that was probably going to be my next playthrough. Bard.
Bard is fun.
Yeah. It's very similar to Sorcerer in its utility, but it's
support sorcerer.
Yes.
My dream is to get a party of 4 bards and just all play one of the songs and hear all of the different instruments.
Yes.
It looks so cool.
Yes.
Just reclass all the NPCs.
I should do that, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's not the same as, like,
force them to
me and 3
completely...
friends.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is not the same.
Yeah.
You're right. Sorry.
It's okay. You have other interests when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons. I get it.
Yeah, well, the Night Friend is not a bard.
No,
that's
the Night
simply
Friend
what it
is
is.
not a bard.
That's just the simple truth.
What about you, Faden? What game did you play? Turn it right back. Question to you.
Turn it right back. I want to talk about Leica Age Through Blood.
There's a line dividing right in front of me. Many nights ago I made a promise that someone broke for me. How cruel, the universe is breaking all the rules. Nothing to lose. This is the last year that I have for you. This is the last year that I have for you. This is the last year that I have for you.
Which is a Metroidvania by let me pull up my notes. It is developed by Brainwash Gang, Madrid studio.
Great name.
Very great name. That's why I wanted to make sure I got it right. It's a great name. And you play as this, I figured it out, coyote mother, who it's a world of anthropomorphic animals, and apocalypse has happened after the birds decided they're genetically superior to all animals. It's very inspired.
It's true.
Yeah, it is true. But yeah, so very inspired by fascist Spain, which I found out only recently ended in the late 70s.
Yes.
I blew my mind. I don't know why this was never taught to me. We always taught, and I keep going to this. I keep saying this. I feel like I've said it on the podcast multiple times. We're just taught this history to oppose fascism. And yet...
Well, we're not really. We're taught the history of the Anglo-centric world, and that's why we don't know anything about Spain.
Well, right. But the thing that gets me is I cannot remember the amount of times I was told just by history teachers, like, what would you do in this scenario?
Yes.
And I just don't learn that Spain was, like, fascist 20 or 30 years ago when I was in school.
50 years ago now.
Yep.
No, we're in,
Yep.
wow.
50 years ago now.
Time marches on.
And the crux of the whole Metroidvania, explore, get items, get upgrades. You're doing it all on a dirt bike, basically.
You remember Flash games from
yes.
grade school?
Oh, yes.
Trials?
All of them. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It wasn't my game, but you could not forget Trials. It was the most popular.
It reminds me of it's very much like that. Like you have to like stay up on the bike and like keep your balance and momentum going, but you need to do tricks to reload your gun to shoot bird people.
It's a wild game.
That's a great game.
I had a lot of fun watching Faden play this.
Just doing 360 backflips, fully reload your pistol. You have shotguns. The shotgun's blast will like push you in different directions based on where you shoot, so you can use it to overcome obstacles, just jump through things. The game needs to be 40% shorter though. It's
like most movies.
It's like most movies. The game needs to be 40% shorter. It's kind of wild. There felt like so much dead air. I liked the ship stuff, but I didn't need a whole water level where I'm controlling the ship, shooting rope, and
you don't like that?
Shooting a harpoon to ride the rope with a wheelie. I kept falling and dying for that.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm just gonna move on.
I can't believe you gave us the episode title.
Tell me more about this game. Yeah,
like a shooting rope.
It's also a great antithesis to the Sad Dad game. What if Sad Mom game? And it's very based on femininity and womanhood. That's where their powers kind of come from. The inheritance is passed on when the daughter has first bleeds. And then the mom is no longer immortal. And now the daughter is.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so you're playing in this small community where you are the only one who could protect it because you can just get killed and come back.
Wow.
It's an ancient tradition between this like mom and daughter line. It's a matrilineal like generation thing. To the point where Laika was even forced to have another kid after her last one died due to a fever, because they all get a fever that they have to survive in order to even get the powers. And Puppy, her daughter, this is it. She cannot have another kid. So Puppy has to make it or else this just ends. But also she kind of wants it to just end in a way because it's a fuck thing to do. She hates her mom, has a very complex relationship with her mom, Maya, to the point where there's a really great quest where you have to find this pendant that Maya said she gave Laika. And Laika's like, no, I can't believe we're having this conversation again. I fucking didn't have the pendant. And the mom's like, that's not true. You're careless. You had the pendant. Go back to our old home. Go look. And when you go back to the old home, it's not there. And the quest updates to rub it in Maya's face that she was wrong.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
It's very it's a good story with I love the character interactions. They're very strong. They don't go for the easy choices where there's still this base of love. There is at the end of it, Laika still is contemptuous of her mother, softened a bit because sees how her mother can be useful for for her daughter, but still hates this whole reality she was born into, where she has to be this warrior that has to kill all these birds from trying to kill everyone. The birds want to subjugate. They're doing an imperialism all over the world.
Hitchcock was right.
Yeah, exactly. The birds. They also do eugenics and they're bringing back creatures that died out, like whales and crabs and caterpillars, and turning them into war machines.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
A weapon to surpass the Metal Gear?
Yeah, I fought a caterpillar train with giant guns.
That is a weapon to surpass the Metal Gear.
Every boss fight, when you do the final shot, it changes hard to a cutscene, like a nicely, beautifully drawn, animated cutscene of the bullet killing the monster. I really like that. It's very stylish. Just could be way shorter. Just way shorter. Especially, I didn't care for the ending too much. It's not as interesting as there feels like a point where the game could end, and it keeps going so long. But the best part is the soundtrack's really good.
That helps.
It's very moody.
Do a lot of work.
Yeah, it's very. I can't remember what sort of genre this is, but it's just very sad and moody music. Very kind of Western, sort of instruments, guitars. and shit, and just
Midwest
really
emo.
Yeah,
No.
no. And the singer is actually in the game as a character, who is a piece of shit. So that was very interesting to be like, oh, the villagers don't like her music anymore because she betrayed them.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So this sounds like a game with nuance.
You kill a lot of people. It's very bloody.
Yes?
It's called
Yeah.
Forged in Blood, right? Or birthed
Aged
by
through blood.
Yeah.
Aged through blood. I guess there's one last thing I want to mention. If I can spoil probably one of the coolest mechanic reveals I've ever had in a game. Perfect. Spoilers, if you're
We're
going to play
nodding.
Leica,
Yes, not.
I don't know, skip ahead until you hear the music for the next game. That's a good indicator that you are on to the next segment. So, the coolest mechanical thing I've ever seen was, I thought I had a glitch at first. I would try to, I would scare birds. And the birds, they just start shooting right away when they see you. They're trying to kill you. But some birds weren't shooting. They just were just doing nothing. I was like, oh, that's just a glitch. You know, this is an indie game made by a small studio. Not going to be perfect. So when I go to infiltrate the bird, under nest, there's an under city that's really seedy, very cyberpunk. I run into a bird who has white armbands that he is passing out, and they are part of the Peace Brigade. They believe in pacifism, and they will throw their lives down and be killed for that ideal because they hate their imperialistic nation.
I love this.
And they just want things to be better. So I was now, after that point, looking for the white armbands, which every single one of those birds that didn't shoot have.
Wow.
Cool.
Wow.
It fucking ruled. I was stunned. Cool game.
Do you still kill them?
Nope. I did not kill those ones.
Oh, okay.
I just, some bird...
You're not a class trader. That's the problem.
That's what I'm hearing, yeah.
Yeah. Leica does say all birds are bastards at one point.
Excellent. Excellent.
ABAB.
Yes.
ABAB. But there's also class consciousness among the birds, but it comes really late. It's really weird. They were trying to do so much. It reminds me most of Hollow Knight, honestly, in a weird way.
Again,
Same
I've not
sort of
played
deal. Oh, Hollow Knight's great. It's hard, but it's great.
Hollow Knight's hard.
it.
Dale, what about you? What game have you been playing this month?
Yes.
This month, I played a game that, is really good. It's one of the coolest games I think I've ever played, ever.
Right.
Of all time, ever. The game is called Cocoon. And it is by... I just had this pulled up. Why did I put my phone down?
Yeah, I do that all the time.
This game is developed by Geometric Interactive and published by Annapurna Interactive. Cocoon is just a little short 4-hour puzzle game, but in those 4 hours of puzzling and exploring, I felt so both curious, intelligent, and clever, and just it's a game that felt really rewarding for taking the time to think out the puzzles and spend your time taking a little bit longer to explore. This game comes from the mind of Jeppe Karlsson, who was the lead puzzle designer for Playdead Studios. They did the games Inside and Limbo.
Oh.
And so when I played Cocoon and beat it and was just utterly blown away and went back and played Inside and Limbo. Cocoon is in a league of its own. It is in a totally different headspace. This puzzle designer, Yeppy, was just, I think, held back by the stories that were present in Limbo and Inside. Which
Wait,
were
did
like,
they say this, or you just assume
This is me.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
This
I
is
want to
my
get on
opinion.
the record.
This is my opinion.
Pulled from the ether.
This is just me talking
Yep.
with no, I don't know any of this for sure, but it felt to me like this puzzle designer was really able to express some of their greatest ideas for concepts in Cocoon. It is a 3D isometric, so you're always looking at the same camera angle, but you're in a 3D space with like kind of low poly, very colorful, just vibrantly colorful imagery. And the game starts you out in this world where you kind of just fall from a cocoon. And you've got these cool little wings, and you got like a space helmet and no arms, really.
Yeah, like a cyber bug.
It's a cyber bug. Yeah, it's like this really cool cyber bug. And you walk around and you pick up this sphere. And you can hold the sphere on your back and walk around with it. And so you pick up this one sphere that's connected to like this tentacle. And you drag it across the floor. And you notice, oh, hey, a door opens up. Okay, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. And then you begin to interact with different spheres throughout the world. And you realize, oh, when I pick up this sphere, that door closes there. Or when I put this sphere into this stand, this puddle on the ground erupts in light. And what happens when I push and hold the A button? I warp out of the sphere. And so you realize that it becomes these worlds within worlds. These spheres that you're holding, only like some of them, 4 ultimately. There are 4 world orbs that you get to transverse through. And some of the puzzles layered these worlds in such a way that felt so mind-bogglingly smart to me. It was just like, I'm thinking, there's thinking with portals. This was thinking with multiverses or like multiple layers of reality. And I had so much fun when it was the moment of like, aha, I know what I got to do after just minutes, I was going to say hours. It only took me 4 hours to beat the game. So after minutes of going, what do I do? What's this? I'm kind of stuck. Boom, there's the solution. And it all felt so cool.
I like its use of music and sound. When you have the solution, like when you have the right pieces and you start carrying them around, the music starts picking up. So it's a good easy indicator that you are doing something right.
Doing something right, yeah. It's a good
Keep
dynamic
going.
soundtrack.
Yeah, I like it.
It's very atmospherically spooky. The worlds, so to say, that you go through have these world bosses that manifest at the beginning when you wake up the sphere, and then they go into the sphere with this like maleficent presence. It's like, oh my gosh, I got a malevolent presence.
I said Maleficent, the Disney villain.
I sure did, didn't I?
That's Kingdom. Hey, this is a great
She
time.
got her wings took.
She got her wings took.
Hey, great time to bring up happy 18th birthday to Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh my. 18?
18.
Kingdom Hearts 2 can buy porn now.
That's the way to think of it.
Yep. Just completely.
Remarkable.
Thanks for derailing, Faden.
Yeah, just go back and listen to our Kingdom Hearts 2 episode.
Or go play the game Cocoon. It will take you... Actually, you could listen to our Kingdom Hearts 2 episode twice while playing the game Cocoon.
I don't recommend that.
Probably don't do that. So yeah, Cocoon, I want to talk more about how this game compares to the other 2 games, Inside and Limbo, because both Inside and Limbo are more puzzle platformers. They're the 2D side-scrollers.
Platformers, yeah.
And they're like Limbo wants you to ask the question, why is this silhouette boy being killed in horrific ways? And the answer...
I'm constantly asking that question.
Yes.
And the answer is
Why?
because he's looking for his silhouette female counterpart, sister person.
Well, he's in limbo. It's in it does what the tin says.
True. Like, I'm playing the game Amnesia, and the plot is I forgot.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
and in the game Inside, you're this boy sneaking away from this kind of scary, overarching, like totalitarian something or other. And so when I got to Cocoon and I saw, you can walk in any direction. It's like, that's okay. So we're puzzling in the 3 dimensions. In the third, it's actually the 4th dimension when you really think about it. Because you're going through the world to the next world, and then the other world, and then outside of the world, and the world within the world.
But that's not what 4th dimension means. Most people reference that as time.
Does anyone know what the 4th dimension is?
We just both said it at the same time. Time. What doesn't come but is always
talking
late.
about more of the 3rd dimension currently.
It's true.
Yeah, it's just more 3D.
Just more of it.
It's just
add an extra.
there's layers to this shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't like the bosses in the game.
They are,
they're real bad.
It's like, hey, you got
Bad,
this kind of really
not
soothing...
fun or bad.
Super uninteresting. Not at all what I like about the game. I'm like, I don't need a boss fight in this puzzle game. I just need to do puzzles.
Yeah, it sounded a little off.
It's weird.
A little out of off tone, perhaps.
So you get these cool, thoughtful puzzles that make you really think, and then you go fight the scary shadow boss that's possessing the world in bullet hell, dodge 'em game.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So that would be really helpful for a gamer like me who doesn't like puzzles, but I don't know that I'm the audience to cater to in your puzzle game. Because I love bullet hell, but
but it's like an afterthought almost. It comes later. The puzzles are very very much the focus of the game, and then to free the world, you got to do a little bullet hell dodge 'em.
I think the only puzzle that made me feel smart was the very last one, figuring that out instantly.
Oh, you got it instantly?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the colors are all there.
No, right, but it's really cool. It's a cool one to do.
The one that made me go, I have galaxy brain right now. There are.
I was waiting for you to use that term.
Yeah, it's space too.
There's when you unlock the powers in these spheres, or no, when you beat the bosses in the spheres, they kind of get extra powers. The orange one will light up these hidden paths. The green one will allow these vines to grow. And there's this one that shoots a beam, and the beam will activate
crystals.
Activate crystals that will raise a platform, lower a platform, kind of thing.
Okay.
Diamond-looking things.
Diamond-looking things. And so it's very, very obvious. First off, you shoot the diamonds, raise the platform. And then I got to this point where I didn't see any obvious targets. I could see the effect would still work, and so I realized you had to set the thing up to shoot at a sphere that had a sphere positioned in the sphere that would go, so it was like the bolt would go into a sphere and then out a hole in that world that would go into another sphere, into the next world to hit a target. And then when it hits the target, there's this time delay because it's still following the traveling of and it was...
Sounds a lot like
it was
Portal
so cool.
and Portal 2.
It's very Portal inspired.
adjacent. Yeah.
I think it is a lot more clever than Portal, honestly.
I think so,
my
too.
favorite puzzle games, by far.
Yeah, you might like Cocoon.
Yes.
You might like Cocoon. It's way shorter than Portal.
Hearing you describe
the
it,
same length as
I thought, you know what? 4 hours.
It's quick.
I have 4 hours.
You can do it in a day. Yeah.
Because longer puzzle games, that's what really kills me. Is every puzzle, they don't give me enough reward in my brain when I complete a puzzle, and so it's hours of torment. And then I know there's hours more to come. And it's just so little reward for me oftentimes.
Yeah.
Unless it's really kinetic and fast-paced and there's somebody making funny quips in my ear. Like, that really helped with Portal.
Or how about, what if you're exploring the universe and discovering things?
You mean the solar system?
Yeah, the solar system.
Faden's going for Outer Wilds.
Yes.
Outer Wilds as a whole package is the better puzzle game. But as a puzzle game concept, Outer Wilds is not a puzzle game. It's something bigger than that.
But no, it's a puzzle game. It's a giant puzzle back that you have to
I can't say I've
remove the
completed it,
pieces.
but
it's so good. I would love to help you.
I feel like I was pretty close, and I was like, I could keep going. And then I went back to my other game.
Sorry, Cocoon.
Yes,
Cocoon's great. Cocoon, I think, is the best puzzle game that I have played in a very long time. It made me feel so intelligent. It's on Game Pass, and if it's not on Game Pass, or if you're not on Game Pass, it's only like $20. So go out there, try it
Could
out.
be on sale.
Shout out to Jeppe Carlson.
It's Star Wars That's the Little Republic time.
Star Wars KOTOR.
Star
1.
Wars KOTOR 1.
The
And-
Old Republic had some knights. You might have been one of them. Who's to say?
And as always, we like to do an elevator pitch on here. A 30-second, you have a producer. You have George Lucas. This is who you have.
Okay.
You have George Lucas, and you're some BioWare nerd that has to convince George Lucas to make this game.
All right. Oh, boy.
All right, 30 seconds on the clock. What if I just did 30 minutes? 30 seconds on the clock. On your mark, get set, go.
Okay, Mr. Lucas. So what we've done with your concept of Star Wars, sir, is to... I'm sorry, I'm just nervous, Mr. Lucas. You're such a huge inspiration for me. Anyway, we want to inject an intense and morally robust story into your universe of Star Wars, but it takes place way back in the past, and we're going to make Jedis really interesting, and long live the Republic, Mr. Lucas. So can we make your game, sir?
Time. I gotta say, I'm not very impressed.
Oh.
Want me to give it a shot? No,
Should we have
I
Uncle
was
too?
trying to do a bad George Lucas impression.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, not impressed.
Honestly, not impressed.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
They're friends.
They're just friends.
Yeah, we played KOTOR, the hip happiness game of 2023.
It's a 20-year-old game.
20-year-old game.
Unfortunately, it is.
Developed by BioWare, published by LucasArts. Remember when that was a thing?
Lucas Arts.
Oh,
When I saw that logo come up, when I first rebooted this game, oh boy, that hurt. That was the first thing I thought was that studio's gone.
just gone.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ouch.
Just lost all that talent.
it got E8 and
E8.
Well, it got more Disney just shut them down because they're like, we
Yeah.
could just sell it. We don't have to spend money. We could just
Yeah.
sell it to people and make money for us.
Mhm.
That's just capital.
That's just smart business.
That's just smart business. Yeah, developed by BioWare. Wow, what
BioWare
a
Industries.
speaking
Yes.
of Baldur's Gate, original makers of Baldur's Gate,
Yes.
Baldur's Gate 2, super funny, Baldur's Gate 3 coming out, and then playing KOTOR and going, well, I like KOTOR more than Baldur's Gate 3. Based off a really, really, really modulated form of Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition.
Yes.
Not, it's everything is rolled on a D20. That's for
Yeah.
sure that is happening.
Yes.
I can guarantee you that. If there's one thing I can guarantee you about the system of this game, it rolls a D20.
A lot.
Yeah. Except for damage, it's 20s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to roll the hit.
Yeah.
And then you'll have D6s for your
Mm-hmm.
It's all D6s down, all the way down. I guess let's take this time to talk about builds, because this game is very combat oriented.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a lot of combat to this game. So I want to hear about your builds. Let's go with you, Uncle.
Uncle went for a playthrough that was most familiar for him, and which is Jedi Sentinel. I almost always go Jedi Sentinel. You get lots of skills, and with more skills, you have more options to play the game with. You tend to have the ability to complete every quest, which you can't necessarily do with other class builds as easily because of skill checks, because of compatibility at certain points in the game. So I usually go Scout to Scout to Sentinel, and this time I went for a moderately light side build, but very, very built around Force Insanity. So high charisma, high
Great
wisdom.
move.
Force Insanity works on everyone and anyone except for droids, and you don't care about droids because you can kill them fast anyway, no matter what skills you have. So
It's wild they made a move called Force Insanity.
Oh yes, but it's my favorite. It's my go-to. It goes all the way back to before I played any RPG other than Pokemon, when I had my Haunter for the Dream Eater Night or the Hypnosis Dream Eater combo.
Hell
That is, and you can do that with Deathfield. So you can Insanity Deathfield. It's just like playing Haunter.
Just like playing Haunter. I guess I should interject. Yeah, I should tell you all why I picked this as my touchstone.
Yeah, that's a
Please,
good starting point.
That's a good starting point. So let's start it in the middle of us talking about builds.
Perfect.
I picked this game because this is, especially in December, this was my stepmom would do this thing like, hey, you get to open one present under the tree. And I always go for the game boxes because duh. And lo and behold, here was KOTOR. I did play it once before when I was like right when it came out. My dad rented it. He didn't like it because turn-based, that's gay.
It is though.
It is though. And I couldn't fight the rat ghouls because they scared me. And so
rat ghouls are scary.
I had a similar problem.
They're so slimy looking.
Yes.
Why are they glistening?
Yes. And you could turn into one. I didn't know you couldn't.
You could turn into one.
You can?
No.
No.
Oh.
But they tell you can.
They tell you
Right,
you
and
can.
that's what I was
believe
worried
them.
about.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I was so scared. I
Yeah.
couldn't play anymore.
Mm.
And I also kept wondering, where's my lightsaber?
Yeah, what the hell? Star Wars? Where's my lightsaber?
But I played it a year later, and it just all clicked with me because I started liking RPGs more. I liked turn-based combat.
Desensitized to rat ghouls.
Desensitized the rat ghouls. They still scared me.
Yes.
I mean, this was the era where when I first tried KOTOR, I couldn't play a game unless I was in a vehicle. If I was a person walking around doing things, it scared the shit out of me. Especially if it was third person, it's an action game. I had this, my dad got this Obi-Wan game because he got the Xbox.
Yes, I know the game.
Bad game.
Yeah. I was
he-
thinking about that game.
He
today.
got the Xbox, and to justify getting it, because he wanted Halo,
Yeah.
he said, hey, I bought you this Star Wars game
Yeah.
so you can play it.
Yeah.
Because he knew Halo would scare me too, and it did. Scare the shit out of me.
Mhm.
He loved Halo, though. But I didn't like the Obi-Wan game because I wasn't in a vehicle, so I was like, nope, too scary. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry. And KOTOR just made me more of a Star Wars sicko, too. I love Star Wars, and
Yeah.
this just shit blows your mind when you're 10. Or,
Yeah.
no, not 10.
I was
11.
10, so you were 11. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I just got a minus 20 years, and that's it.
That's it.
And this hits the high that you get from Star Wars as a kid the best, because it's a unique subsect of Star Wars lore which you get to know, and it's special knowledge that other kids who love Star Wars don't know. You get to tell them about what happened thousands of years before the world they love
Mhm.
happened, and boy, are you special for knowing it. That hit for me when I was 10.
I kept that shit in. Nobody cared about that at all where I was from. I was the only weirdo talking about Star Wars.
I played KOTOR for the first time this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
boy.
did. And what was your build for this first time?
Yeah.
My build for first time KOTOR was going in thinking, all right, so I know it's a little bit of D&D. I know that I'm playing a Star Wars tabletop game with Faden right now. And I know the character I'm about to play in that game I'm really excited for, because I had not got to play Raylan yet
Yeah.
going into KOTOR, We had just like made the character. And so I thought, well, what I want to do in my mind is make, well, my character's Raylan. I'm going to make his grandpa way back in Star Wars lore. And it's going to be a similar thing. So I picked the soldier class to start out with because I was going to use a heavy blaster rifle the whole time. And I spent a long time on Terrace putting a bunch of levels. Putting a bunch of levels into soldier. And I got to like soldier level 8. And I had a lot of fun shooting power shot. And I had heavy armor. And I got all of the feats to use the heavy armor to like be resilient, combat medic, all that stuff. Oh. And then I got to Dantooine and I was like, oh, I'm a Jedi now. Oh.
The rug kind of pulled from under you.
Yes. What's cool about being a Jedi? Using the Force. Going for Jedi Consular. The opposite of freak soldier.
Yes.
So for the rest of the game, I used a lightsaber and Force powers, and felt like I wasted 8 levels.
Now, Dale, can I share something very special with you?
Yes.
The very first time I played this
but
game,
not with me.
You know, it's not for you, so you need to stop listening.
I'm plugging my
ears.
Yes, Faden, thank you for plugging your ears and leaving the room. This is just for Dale and the listeners. My very first playthrough of this game as a child, as a 10-year-old, barely understanding RPG mechanics of any kind, I played the exact same build. I went soldier. I didn't realize I was going to get a lightsaber because, well, I can tell you about it later, how I played this game. But boy, did I need to use that blaster. And then
they've got some cool heavy blasters on Taurus.
And boy, yeah, they look cool. You see Canderous with his, and you need it. You need it.
Gotcha.
And the heaviest armor, well, that protects the most, right? So I always had to choose the heaviest armor, and then I went Jedi Counselor because I wanted Force powers. And what a build that is to try and complete the game with.
Yeah. Fortunately, Faden gave me a heads up, and I did read in the descriptions too, hey, some of the Force powers are limited to what armor you're using. If you're wearing heavy armor, you won't be able to use them. Yeah. So I just used Jedi robes the rest of the game, which was the opposite of what I had been doing, but somehow I got lucky. It worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't seem to have any combat struggles.
I had no issues with combat until Malak at the very end.
What difficulty did you play on?
Probably the lowest.
Okay. Well, you probably played on normal. If you didn't touch it, you probably played on normal. That sounds about right. Because as a kid, oh man, boy, did I need that game to be playable because it was a hard game for a 10-year-old. I didn't have the patience to read all the reading I had to read. So
there's a lot.
I thought
data pad you pick up.
Yeah, no way I was reading those.
I thought dueling meant 1v1 combat.
Yes.
Not
Me too.
one-handed weapon.
Me too. There were so many language problems I had with that game because I just did not understand the words I was reading.
I don't know what the fuck a feat is. What are you talking about? Get out of here, nerds.
Yes. And when
I just want to get a lightsaber and go slash.
Yes.
I looked at the back of the cover, so I knew I'd get a lightsaber at some point. So I was like melee build.
Motivated by melee.
Yep.
I was a weirdo who didn't even I rented this game because I saw it and it was Star Wars and it was the only Star Wars game on the shelf. It was a very run down rental place that we had in our small town. It had very little to offer, but it had that game and I picked it without even looking at it, reading about it. I'd never played an RPG before. I'd never played any story-driven game before. I played
heavily story-driven. I
played a lot of the original Super Mario Bros. And Mario Kart and Pokemon, and that was the extent of my gaming knowledge. And I had just gotten a brand new Xbox Mountain Dew edition from my babysitter whose boyfriend already had one.
Nice.
And she won it in a contest and she gave it to me and my parents were not in love with that because they hated video games. But
amazing.
Now I had an Xbox and I got to pick a game to rent and that is the game I picked.
And now you're on a podcast. Oof. What a journey.
Wow. Yes, from Xbox Mountain Dew to now.
It was my destiny, you might say.
So much destiny going on. For my build... For my build, I went what I usually do, Scoundrel to Consular. Just going full that build.
Yes.
Full talk, full persuasion, very talky. I was able to leave Taurus at level 4 because that's a thing you just do sometimes.
Yes, I left Taurus at level 2.
Whoa!
And the benefit to that, having completed every quest and lots of experience built up, is you get all kinds of force power.
Yes.
Yep. Especially Consular, where you just get all of them.
Literally all of them. Yes.
rolled through the game with that. Did a complete dark side run. Kick the puppy. Fuck your husband's remains. I'm gonna steal this plate from you and then sell it for money. I think my main character's name was Polykino. Her most toxic dark side trait was that she found Carthonassi hot.
That is quite toxic.
That's very toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 10-year-old Raymond could not bear Carthonassi. He's crying about his children. Shut up.
29-year-old Dale cannot bear Carthonassi. I don't want to talk about it. Let me tell you about it.
We're gonna get to Karth.
Yes.
Oh man. And for my second playthrough, because I decided to be a masochist and do kick the puppy run and a normal fucking person run, I was a scout that went into Guardian. I wanted the feats. I wanted to get all the feats that I could, but I wanted all the skills. I wanted to repair and to computer and to treat injury as the scout. So it was a fun time. I didn't even worry about doing the weird leveling up thing. I just leveled up scout as much as I wanted.
Yeah.
Had fun. The first time I beat the game, I had to beat the boss using mines. Just playing
the final boss?
Yeah, the final boss. Just placing mines everywhere as he used force speed, run the fuck away, place mine, run the fuck away.
I usually do that anyway, just because that's my favorite way to beat him. It's so funny.
Just keeps walking in him.
Yeah.
He doesn't see him.
He doesn't stop. Yeah, it's really funny.
He really kills himself.
He does.
I sold every single mine I picked up in that game.
Oh, you really can. They're pretty. It's pretty useless, honestly.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot that's just aesthetic.
Yeah. There's, I think, core, like mechanically, even with a lot of skills, they're most of the time just not useful. Only Persuade really is, to be quite honest, because you can talk your way out of any quest objective that you need.
Yes. In this first Knights of the Old Republic,
the skills get improved.
The skills really don't matter as much, but you have a lot more experience gaining opportunities if you have high skill, because you can play around with the computer consoles and all the robots that were high repair, high computer use, and high security.
Yeah.
All those three specifically.
I don't think security gives you anything, does it?
Just have mission
to
do it.
Yeah, not experience. I guess not experience opportunities, but you get more shit.
But you can just stab it with a lightsaber. See, this is the thing. I never invest in security because a lightsaber instantly kills doors and chests.
What?
Yeah, bash with a lightsaber to any footlocker you get in, and it doesn't break anything.
In the second game,
it does break
items
things.
do break. And I suppose my memory was that the first game did, and so I just never bothered bashing.
Nope.
I didn't even see that as an option.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's an attack symbol.
Yes.
When you can do security. If you have like a melee weapon, you can bash. Just a neat little thing.
I can't wait to play this game again.
Yeah, going in a second time, just a different experience.
Absolutely.
Is there any mechanic stuff we want to talk about before we get into just now story time?
I would like to say, although the combat is really simple mechanically,
very simple.
Like profoundly simple. You have 3 moves in melee, essentially, and that you can just make them better. But what I appreciate the game for is the simulation it creates of kinetic combat, where your moves line up. And although it's dice rolls for damage, it looks like, especially again for a 10-year-old, like this looked like a very real combat situation.
I think it's
every single time.
It still looks really good
compared to a lot of games, and I think
those animations of lightsaber duels
absolutely
are so good.
Even just the vibroblades, I really enjoyed, and the deflections of lightsabers.
Yeah, when you miss a roll, you see them throw you back.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's so cool, and it's something that even today, games don't really deal with the actual physics of combat at all. And so you're just 2 rubber band people flinging around, smashing into each other in any melee game these days. And it's just not as fun as this.
Yeah, they try to make it really cinematic.
To watch.
Absolutely. They try to make it really cinematic where 2 blades will clash. You'll do the bringing one person pushing the other blade down. Tink. You hear the tink. I like sometimes a character will do a kick in their melee blows and stuff, and the other character will dodge. But it doesn't. I think Yeah, it just is a simple animation that just makes things look more interesting when they're happening.
Mm-hmm.
When you take a blaster shot and you stormtrooper it and miss completely, you can see the bolt go like far to the left or right.
Yeah.
It's not just like necessarily like a game miss where you see the bullet hit the damn thing and apparently you missed. It's when you miss, you miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. I remember there was some like advertisement that this was a cinematic Star Wars experience.
True.
It's not like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I think this was part of the weird because it was happening a lot in the late 90s and early 2000s. Quite frankly, weird xenophobia that was just in the games industry of saying this isn't a Japanese game. This isn't like a gay Final Fantasy game. All those fucking queers over there liking their Yunas.
None of that.
None of that. This is a man game.
Guns and swords don't mix. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. I'm just going to shit on one of the coolest weapon
gay.
designs ever.
Gunblades? Never heard of them.
But what if there was a gun that shot lightsabers?
Guns and swords don't mix.
There is a
Uncle
gun
just
that
said
shoots
that.
lightsabers.
In the EU?
No, I think it's in canon universe. If the Vader comic book is canon, which the Dark Horse Vader comic book,
Oh, fuck.
I can't remember if it is or not, but I feel like it is.
No, isn't it the Marvel?
If it is
Marvel's run of Darth Vader?
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah.
I can't. I have a hard time.
It just came out
remembering
like
which
fairly
one's which.
recently in the, I guess, past 10
I read
years.
it a few years ago.
Yeah, it's
I don't
the Marvel
remember.
one because
Okay.
all Marvel does Star Wars comics now.
Okay. Well, then
No
I
cool
think
what
that's
if
it.
Star
And
Wars.
yes, there is a lightsaber gun.
Yep,
It can fire 5 rounds before it destroys the lightsaber.
I completely remember this now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jocasta knew. The librarian uses it, so you should remember.
Yes. Fucking Jocasta knew. Yep. I love her fit. It rules.
Yeah.
A Jedi librarian, golden robes.
Oh yeah,
Hair like pinned up. It's great.
and her wonderful smile. It's my
Her
favorite.
wonderful, arrogant smile.
Yeah.
If it's not in the system, it doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Lovely.
Oh, are we ready for some story time?
Uh-huh.
Let's start where all good stories start.
At the end.
At the opening crawl, Star Wars. I like how it keeps the tradition of kind of panning down to planet or like to space happening.
Yes,
Just classic Star Wars.
it's a necessity.
It's a necessity. I love the design of the Endar Spire.
I would agree. I think the Hammerhead frigate design
It's
is
good.
really neat. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky.
I
does
can't
that.
believe it's in
Yeah.
Rogue One still. It's one of those wild things. Or technically Rebels too.
It was in yes. Yeah,
Just
too
old
much.
shit.
That was too much for me. You're telling me they're using the exact same design they've used for 4,000 years?
No, actually. Okay, this is so.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, Rebels they just like couldn't
You've done
find
it.
any frigates, so they had to repair old ones.
Yes, but to tell me that they found 4,000-year-old frigates.
Yeah, I mean it's Star Wars. To be
Yeah,
fair, though,
you're right.
So
You're
here,
right. They are. I mean, we are talking about a Star Wars game where we use swords.
this
Yeah.
is a perfect time for me to bring up the one thing that I wanted to bring up most about KOTOR.
Yeah, go for
Talking
it.
about 4,000-year-old tech and what the fuck.
It's all very the same.
This game, KOTOR, made me feel the language of Star Wars more than ever. And I think the language of Star Wars has always tried to be that technology in this galaxy far, far away is like pen and paper. It's like they're writing. It's always been around. It's something that everyone is familiar with, something that everyone can interface with. There's something you can adapt to bring something older into the present time. When I got to the point on Kashyyyk where there was that like 40,000-year-old computer and Revan was just able to, adapt in a new interface. I was like, holy shit. It's like fire or pen and paper to humanity. Technology to Star Wars is like the touchstone of being, and it's so cool. And KOTOR really nails that and just drives that point home in a really cool way, I think.
Well, and it's also like very specific on how Empire also relates itself to technology, where it tries to remove all the sense of old technology and try to like sterilize it and make it into a unified, oppressive thing. I think Andor hits this pretty well, but even just like in the Sith designs of stuff, where it's all very uniformed and it's all this like weird like chrome like sterile polished thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love this
it's
chrome
the best
Sith.
design.
It's
It's
I don't know how it looks amazing to this day.
So
Still, it's
good.
kind of wild. I love the Sith chrome armor.
And the chrome it's kind of cool to a degree because I mean, if you're gonna design an armor to deflect lasers,
Chrome is gonna do
shiny
it.
chrome, baby.
Yeah,
like
chrome is definitely laser deflective.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
It does make sense, but it is a silly
in
thing.
the way that Star Wars technology
Yes,
makes
that's
sense,
that's
which
exactly
is
it.
it makes sense for any kind of person. It exactly as you said, Dale. It is a naturalistic thing for them. It's a part and parcel of everyday life, and it always has been.
Always has been.
It always has been.
Like
Absolutely.
fire to the Neanderthal.
Yes.
They don't have pen and paper though in Star Wars.
No, because
No, they don't.
It's
Yeah.
so
weird
great.
concept.
That's so
They've
great.
just got
It's all
data
What a
pads.
waste!
It's
What
all
a
data
ridiculous
pads.
thing to do to turn a tree into pulp just so you can write. What? I have a data
Instead,
pad.
extract metal and
Yes.
trade the one data pad around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Makes way more sense.
So, Endar Spire, cool. We have Trask, our fallen brother.
Yes.
Gives you some tutorials. Click on me, do security. Damn. That Jedi could have helped us. Too bad the Jedi died.
Too bad the Jedi died.
My favorite thing about Trask is the first two Jedi you see. Dark Jedi, we better stay out of the way. We just we just get in the
We would
way.
get in the way.
And
We
then
would-
the very next Jedi you see, I've got him. He goes
Yeah.
right in. We shouldn't run. I got this guy. I'll be able to stop him for any amount of time.
Yeah.
You go.
You go.
You
Yeah,
go.
I'll take care of
yeah,
it.
Yeah. Gets
love
done
it.
in by Darth Brandon.
Yes.
Frickin' Darth Brandon.
I love it.
I thought Darth Brandon's name was really Darth Brandon when I first played the game. And I was just like, Darth Brandon?
I have
That's just
crippling
like a-
dyslexia, so I also thought that.
That's just like a dude's name. I do love that he's named Darth Brandon because you abandoned Trask, which doesn't...
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's Star Wars.
That's...
Darth Vader is Dark Invader.
Yep.
That was Lucas's choice.
Yep. It's great. Darth
Darth
Sidious.
Icky.
Sidious, yes.
They really should have named Star Killer Darth Icky. That would have ruled. That would have ruled so hard. Imagine playing The Force Unleashed.
Darth
Icky.
Insanius.
Oh, ooh.
That's
I wouldn't put it past Disney. We might find one
We might get
someday.
a Darth
No, that was a
Insanius.
Lucas suggestion.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Darth
I love that.
Darth Icky and Darth Insanius was his suggestions for Star Killer because all
No.
Darth names had to be approved by George Lucas.
At that time.
And he told them,
Remarkable.
here's the two Darth names you can use. Darth Icky and Darth Insanius. I'm on the fence of whether or not George Lucas was doing it so they wouldn't give him a Darth name.
Yes. That,
100%.
yes.
But
That is
also,
the answer.
But also, there is a Darth Sidious.
So maybe he just really wanted Darth Insanius to be
Yeah.
in the canon and was like, okay, I'm going to give them a really dumb one and the one I want.
As goofy as Lucas is, that hurts my heart too much to believe.
It's so Lucas to me.
You're
That's also-
you're starting to convince me, and I wish you'd stop.
It's like, it's such a George Lucas story, too. On par with having a statue of Darth Talon and Darth Maul, turning them and saying, they're friends. And the developers for the Darth Maul game going, there's 100 years difference between these two. What do we fucking do?
Incredible.
Oh, great. Good job, George. We land on the planet Taurus with Karth Onasi. Let's talk about Karth. Let's talk about Karth.
Let's do it. First partner NPC that you meet. He's
Mhm.
walking around. He's like, what's up? I don't trust you. Let me tell you why I don't trust you. I don't want to talk about why I don't trust you. I'll tell you why now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
instantly.
Saul.
Instantly.
It's my best friend. He betrayed me, but I won't tell you why he betrayed me. Okay, my planet was bombed.
Yes.
But I don't want to talk about who was there.
I don't want to
Okay,
talk
he
about
killed my
specifics.
family.
And why wouldn't he want to tell us about any of these things that are what is the reason? He says, I don't trust people, which we understand
Yeah.
why he doesn't trust people, but why not trust us with this part of his story? What is there that we can use against him by knowing these things? I don't know.
I don't know, but also if you're a woman, he's the most intolerable fucking person. Calling me sweetheart, darling, beautiful, and every time I'm just like, can you fucking not? Well, okay, my first playthrough was like, stop it. Don't call me that, you nerf herder. Oh, please stop. Your beautiful eyes. I mean, what?
Barf.
Yeah, no. She was
Barf-o-nasty.
terrible. Barf-o-nasty.
Can I tell you my favorite thing about Karth Onassi?
Go for it.
His son Dustle.
Oh my god,
Who-
fucking Dustle.
Mr. Trust Problems. His son is a Sith. He's
Dale,
a-
did you get the Dustle
yes,
quest?
did you get Dustle?
Oh
you have to
my
talk to
God.
Karth quite a bit to get to
I did
Dustle.
not get to
Unbearable.
And
Dustle.
it is quite difficult. So the reason I love, in my modern incarnation of who Uncle is, I love talking to Karth and bringing Karth with me because you can make fun of him. You can constantly make fun of him, and you're not necessarily earning dark side points for it because the game
Nope.
recognizes he's worth making fun of. Well,
Well, you don't get light or dark side for companions.
right, but it really does become a special moment when you meet his son in the academy at Korriban, and they hate each other because of course they do. And you have one opportunity to say something while they're yelling at each other. And if you choose to slight Karth, you say like, wow, your son's really become something special or something sarcastic, he Dustle instantly recognizes my father's closest companions don't even respect him. Why should I? And he attacks you, and you have no choice but to murder Karth's son
Oh my god.
right in front of his eyes because you decided to make fun of him. It's remarkable. It's quite a choice, and it's my favorite part about Karth, other than how useful he is in combat.
He's good with those pistols.
He's good with those. Yeah, I don't ever use them. I do like some of his interactions with Canderous,
Yes.
where they have a talk about warriors, and Canderous says, "Hey, is that what you tell yourself to sleep at night?" And then Karth just does the same thing, like, "Oh, but you lost the war." And Canderous like, I don't. It was a glorious battle. It was honorable. Karth was like, "Well, I guess that's what you tell yourself to sleep at night." And just them bickering is
Yeah.
good. Karth Karth picks a fight with Mission at some point,
Yes, he does.
and he treats her so condescendingly. Like
Well, she's only 14.
She is a child.
Yeah.
she is a child, but also at the same time, Karth,
It's Karth.
why are you picking fights like this?
Yes.
Every time somebody fought with Karth, I did back up the other person. Well, unless it was Bastalot.
Oh boy.
I have a question about Karth.
Yeah.
So early on when we were playing KOTOR, Faden, I heard you say that Karth is a BioWare guy. He's
Yes.
the BioWare guy?
Yeah.
Yes, he is
He's-
the BioWare
is.
guy.
Oh no. Yes.
Yes,
he is. He's
I
in every
don't
game.
know what this means.
You will meet
Have you
this
met Alistair in Dragon Age Origins?
This is the first BioWare game
Caden
I've
in
played.
Mass Effect.
Caden in
Literally
Mass
the
Effect.
same voice actor as Karth.
Yes. Oh yes. He is, and I honestly, although Atten is incredible.
No, Atten is not a BioWare
but
guy.
he's so much better than Karth. But he is fulfilling the role of the Karth guy in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an inversion.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
KOTOR 2,
Most everything is.
KOTOR 2 thinks it's very clever, and sometimes it isn't.
Yes.
But we'll get to that next year. Sorry, don't
Okay.
even talk about KOTOR 2.
Don't tell them.
Okay.
Can't tell Dale.
Yes.
Well,
But yeah, Karth is just a BioWare guy. Let me describe what a BioWare
yeah, what
guy
is a BioWare guy?
A BioWare guy is Karth's type of person. Someone who kind of has this like tough
Tough and
exterior,
guarded.
but it's not really tough. It's very soft and melted. Like it looks like it'd be a hard candy, but really you bite into it, and it's just a soft chocolate.
So is a BioWare guy just a burned marshmallow?
Yeah, basically. BioWare guy is basically burned marshmallow. Usually has something sad about his life.
Looks a little bit like a Backstreet Boy.
Just looks like a typical white dude. Just nothing really too interesting going on. Is always the straight option.
Yes.
Never can be gay.
Never.
Like, well, Caden does become bi in Mass Effect 3. That is
Yes,
that
that's
is important
true.
to remember,
That's
but not
true.
the first two games. Absolutely not. You absolutely can't have Jack be pansexual. Anyways. Fucking Mass Effect. Yeah. Karth,
Okay.
you'll just see this sort of guy
I can't believe you have
in every game.
I have not played Mass
Oh
Effect.
my.
No.
Another touch. That's a touchstone game for me.
That's for, thank God we're not doing Uncle's Touchstone games. I don't think I could survive a podcast on Mass Effect.
Another time.
Maybe. You know what? Who knows?
No,
you do
no.
enough of these,
The
you get the
conversation,
right.
I mean, not the podcast.
Yeah, you'll just run it. They're usually the first guy too.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the other
Yeah.
thing.
The first guy you meet.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
first dude.
Okay.
BioWare guys.
Mm-hmm.
So Terrace is a fun city. Nice little, what is it called? Megaopolis?
Oh, there is a word for these city planets.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
nice...
I call them city planets usually.
Yeah, it's clearer.
Yeah.
Most people know that.
There's a cool word, though. Hold on. Pause.
Globalopolis. Globalopolis. What would the Greek word for
Ecumenopolis.
There you go.
Ecumenopolis,
Yes.
yep. The very not visually, it's structured like a class metaphor. So
Absolutely.
the upper city is the upper class, lower city is the lower class, undercity is the outcast and undesirables.
Mhm.
Had a revolution, threw all the undesirables down into the outcasts. Hates aliens,
Hates aliens.
human supremacy group,
Oh yes.
which we're going to get into a lot of weird human shit as we continue on into this, I'm realizing. There's a lot of overall arching aliens versus humans theme throughout this game, which I think is interesting, of like humanity not understanding the cultures of aliens.
Oh yes.
Exemplified a lot by actually Mission, because the very first thing you can say to her in a bar is, "Hey, you speak basic. What's up with that?"
You can say that to most aliens that speak basic.
It's
Mhm.
fucked
Yes.
up.
Yes.
I don't know why we're doing this.
Mm.
And even Mission says, well, that's kind of, we all understand it. We have to understand it. We just prefer to speak in our language.
A killer line.
Killer line.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
But I feel like...
Despite the fact that you can bring it up.
yeah, and I don't know if your character can't learn a lesson. It's not like you're able to stop saying
Right.
weird shit to people and to
No.
aliens.
Not even at all.
Well, that's the problem with every BioWare character. You don't have to learn any lessons. You can make whatever choice you want every time.
Yeah, there's some consequences.
Few consequences.
Yeah. The illusion of
The
consequences.
illusion
more
of choice.
often.
But I
Mhm.
think...
Which as a child, I believed in. It hit me a lot harder.
I still think it works in this game. I actually kind of want to say. I think because the choices are weird enough and different enough
Yeah.
that it kind of works. It feels impactful, even if you know there's not much variety outside of it. Yeah, I think this comes from vocal direction a lot. A lot of these characters have a very strong reaction to you acting like a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is funny, though, that you can break into people's apartments.
And steal from
without
them.
consequence.
And steal. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they'll tell you, I'm horrified, you're stealing my things.
No
And-
light side, no dark side.
No,
Nope.
it's just what you do.
A purely neutral act.
Yes.
Yep.
It's almost as if this game knows something bad is about to happen to this planet.
Mm.
Yes. It's the Force. The Force determines what is good and bad, and the Force knows none of this matters.
None of this matters. In a matter of moments.
Yes.
Oh, there's. How do we feel about Mission overall, though? And
Mission's
Mission
great.
and Big Z. We'll take them together, and maybe we'll talk about Big Z more in Cash.
I love Mission. I love Zalbar. They are great characters. A lot of fun. Zalbar deserves more from the game.
Yes.
Zalbar deserves more from fucking Mission, who just negs him
Yes.
Yeah.
constantly. Take a bath, brush your teeth.
You know
Comb out
I'm
that
like
hair.
that is against my culture. We've been over this. You know I
Yes.
cannot do these things.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of cultural misunderstandings from all species. Now that you mention it, I think that's just. Yeah, this game's all about like cultural misunderstandings in a weird way, even to
And
its
being
climax.
on trial.
And being on trial.
That
Yes.
comes
course.
later though.
Yeah.
Oh, court. I love a good trial. I love
Just
a good
going to court.
mystery.
Why not go twice?
Oh my God.
Why not go 4 times?
Yes.
Repeat customer, I see.
Yes. Yes.
The judge says as he gavels me in.
Yes.
You get tried on 2 different planets.
Yes, you do. Well, you
Fucking
can.
Christ,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
That one's a side quest in Cache.
Yes. Correct.
And yeah, so we have the lower city, the gangs going at it.
Which
Yes.
badass Hidden Becks, awesome. What a cool
Mhm.
what a cool gang name, the Hidden Beck.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about Star Wars is how the language just works. You don't need to know what a Beck is, but Hidden Beck works, and
Yep.
you know who they are.
And the black Volcar?
Volkers.
Black
Volkers.
They're Volkers.
I always, that was they're Vulgars to me in my head, just
Yeah.
constantly.
Because they're jerks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did the bad route and I.
They're black. The black Volkers.
Right.
Terrible.
Sure.
They're dark elves, so they're evil.
Yes,
They're
exactly.
dark or
that's
so-
that's
that's
it's the-
like-
it's
that's
the
how you
thing
know-
they always do in
Yeah.
these RPGs. Yeah.
Well, and specifically Star Wars, which has a very white, black.
Yes.
the light
Dualism.
side, dark side, light
Yes.
side, dark side.
Yeah. And all that comes with. And I killed the Hidden Becks on my poly playthrough.
Oh,
Evil.
It was evil. I was like,
I'll
do it for money.
That for you.
Yes.
My favorite part is when the lieutenant tells Mission, hey, you know that the Hidden Becks make fun of you behind your back. They're like, oh my god, look at this stupid kid. They never made you a Hidden Beck. Why? Because they don't respect you.
Oh, Mission got owned.
And Mission just destroyed. Ganon wouldn't say that, would he? Oh, they say it all the time, Mission.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out to Mission's voice actor who also voiced Padme on the Clone Wars, and I can't unhear it.
This is the perfect time. There are so many Cartoon Network voice actors in this game.
Yes.
Are you just realizing
I'm
this,
just
Uncle?
now realizing this.
The guy
Yes.
that does the intro scroll, and on Clone Wars, the Republic was.
He plays as the Yoda.
He's the Yoda, and he's also the
No
racist
way.
guy on
Yeah,
Terrace.
okay, yeah.
Phil Lamar, who does Dracula in Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. He does, what was the other character? Recently, he took over as Cleveland in the Cleveland Show. Phil Lamar. Oh, and then freaking Billy himself from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Also, Invader Zim. There's so many great voice actors in this game. And just over and over and over, it was like, hey, I know that one. Hey, I know that one. Hey, I know that one.
I'll always go to bat for Jennifer Hale as Bastila.
Jennifer Hale's in it, yeah.
It's a great voice.
Yeah. Yes. So the Undercity too, though, the rat ghouls, the slimy, creepy rat ghouls. I hate them. They're creepy. I don't want to turn into one. What if zombies, but
wet.
But wet?
Yeah. Are those eyes? Is that a nose? I don't know. I don't like it. It's
There's
a
like
face.
3 eyes,
kind of.
right?
There's orifices all over that
Yeah,
head.
they're eye holes. It's what they look like.
They
to
look
me.
like eye holes. Yeah,
eye
you're right.
holes. They're
Ugh.
slit holes
Ooh.
in the face.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
word combination.
That's a word combination.
Yes.
You see Canderous multiple times throughout the Lower City and Undercity. Gruff Mandalorian.
Antagonizing you every step of the way.
Every time I saw him for my second playthrough, I was like, who are you?
Wait, who?
Who? And every time he says, I'm Canderous Ordo, Mandalorian extraordinaire.
Okay, but who?
Hey, but who? Don't remember you.
I like Candace's voice actor because he really captures just grizzled and detached very well.
Canderous fucking rules. Should we talk about Canderous?
Candace is probably the best. Well, there's a lot of good companions in this game.
You don't like Canderous?
No, I do.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm so excited you guys like him too.
Candace is great.
Yeah.
Every time I watch The Mandalorian, I think, he ain't Canderous. That's for damn sure.
Yes. I think that was. When I first heard about Mandalorian, I was excited for its potential because I was expecting Mandalorians from Knights of the Old Republic.
Who doesn't love these
And
Mandalorians?
Yes,
The glory of combat is sought on the battlefield.
they're interesting.
Yeah.
There's something different to the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
There's something that was needed, a true warrior culture.
A good foil to the Jedi, who are
yes.
also warrior monks. But what if the warrior monks believed in evil
Yes.
and just killing and combat
And weapons. And battle droids.
And not even the accumulation of power like the Sith, just combat. I just want to fight their orcs for.
Yes, they basically
They're 40k orcs.
But they're 40k orcs, but they're
That's the
people,
Gamorreans.
But they're people who are making a choice, so they're more nuanced and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, I disagree. I don't think they're Mandalorians in nuance. I think they're just pretty evil, and they're cartoonishly evil.
Yes.
Because especially the way, sometimes Canderous talks about pillaging and, yeah, it was fine to kill those innocent people because they needed to fight back, goddammit.
And they didn't defend themselves, so they didn't have a right to their
I will
property.
I will not contend that the Mandalorians are nuanced themselves, but I would say they are more nuanced than 40k orcs.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
fair.
think that was more my point.
I don't have that reference on that point.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make it clear, though, because I love how evil Canderous is.
Yes.
When you're talking to the Dantooine farmer who lost his daughter and wife to the Mandalorian Raiders, and he's just like, well, you're a man. You should have protected them better as a father. Just man up, dude.
Yes.
Oh,
I like his arc of coming to realize, I've changed. I've lost my edge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Mandalorian anymore.
It's great.
And
Yeah.
It's
what
something
are
I never
the
saw as a
Mandalorians?
kid because I didn't talk to him enough. I just
Yeah.
thought he was cool that he fighted.
He cool punch.
Yes.
He ride battle droid from orbit into combat.
Yeah.
Which is
Yes.
cool. The
Very
So cool.
The Basilisk
So-
War Droid story where he describes falling from space, riding a droid through atmosphere for an invasion.
Yes.
Just sick.
So
It's
good.
more badass than a drop pod.
Way more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he say the specific planet?
I don't remember.
I believe he did. I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember if he did, but he must have. I always like, for some reason in my head, I'm like, what if it's Jahani's planet that got attacked by the Mandalorians? That'd be interesting if that was like connected in a way, but I don't think it is. I'll pretend it is. That's cooler that way.
Headcanon's important.
Headcanon's important. Did you do his side quest, Dale, fighting Jaggy?
Yeah.
That's how you get to see him really come to terms
Come to
with,
terms
with
and
what
yeah.
he's done.
Jaggy was more intense and dedicated than him, and he saw that, and he was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
I'm not that guy anymore."
Yeah.
I feel
Time
like
to put down the blaster, pick up the farming.
I don't think he
Just
picks up
you
the farming
wait.
tools,
No.
but he definitely changes. Like he's definitely. Oh fuck! I can't.
No, we can't say anymore.
No, it's not even that. I forgot. There's a book, a prequel book about Canderous. Did you know about this?
There is. Well, there's. I know he's in the Revan book.
Right, but no, but there's
Yes.
like a Canderous like
a separate.
prequel
I did not know that.
where he has like a wife and shit, and he's sad about that. They made him into
Whoa.
a sad wife dude.
Read that? I have not.
Anyways, unrelated. From my understanding, fucking terrible. When he says that, like, I would follow you anywhere, like for like honor and shit, I'm like, God damn, Canderous, my guy, yes, this is so sweet and romantic of you. You should be able to romance Canderous.
You look like you can fight well. I will follow you.
You get to bromance him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was playing as a woman. I should be able to fuck him.
Oh, you get to be his bro though.
No.
So swoop bike races.
Swoop bike races.
In
How do we
the
feel about
city,
swooping?
Undercity. Swooping around is really fun. What my biggest disappointment in this game was all of the narrative around customizing your swoop bike and getting new swoop bike parts
Yes!
and wouldn't have
Not getting to do it.
not getting to do it at all.
Yeah, cut content. Really sad. They
Yes.
had the voice lines in, but
Yep.
couldn't make it work.
It's
Which
really
I get.
cool.
How do you improve upon swoop
the
bike?
simplest mini game.
Don't get hit.
Yeah.
Don't get hit.
Don't get hit.
Go fast.
Yes.
It's still fun. I like it. Uncle, do you have any thoughts on it?
Uncle hates swoop bike racing. It's so boring. It just doesn't feel rewarding to have done the little tap of the
Change your gear in
keyboard.
time.
Yep, change your gear in time and jump just in time. I just don't care for that.
No jump in this one.
Oh, that's right. There's no jumping. I said, spoilers.
Spoilers!
Spoilers!
Yeah.
Jump mechanics.
Yes, no jump.
No jump button in
but
this
There's no
game.
jump button
You
in
sure
KOTOR,
slide
bad
side
game.
to side.
Well, actually, there is a jump button, I realized. If you're a Jedi Guardian, you do jump
yes.
to enemies.
It's
from
really
far
fun to watch.
away. It's
Yes.
so
Yes,
cool.
You can see Johanny do it.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's really yes. That is a neat thing.
But no jump on the swoop.
no jump on the swoop, and the swoop's not for me. Too boring.
Well, that's okay because Taurus gets freaking obliterated shortly after swooping.
Yeah. Well, first you got to meet Bastila, the
Oh, that's
companion
right.
of
That's
the
right.
game.
The
Cover
companion.
girl, literally one of the biggest
Yes.
figures on the cover. You look at the cover of KOTOR and you're like, "Who's that lady? Her lightsaber's sick.
It's yellow.
It's yellow
Yellow.
and double bladed."
Yes, the double blade I liked. I had Uncle had a weird problem with the color yellow as a kid. Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you why. It
It's
made me very upset. And
It's
so-
not green and blue.
It's not
It's
green.
not green
it's
or
not
blue.
It's not red. It's not purple. It's yellow, and I didn't like
like
yellow.
yellow.
I still yellow. Sometimes it does something to me in my guts.
Do you
and
still not like yellow?
I still don't like yellow. I don't. If my partner buys me something yellow, I get upset. I ask them why. Why did you do this to me? I can't wear this. It's yellow.
Don't say anything.
The
Oh,
color.
what? We should.
The color
Don't-
may be on me, but I'm saying like if for it to be the color. I know. I'm saying shirt. I know. I'm wearing earrings right now.
That are
audience.
very yellow.
That are
Very yellow.
extremely
Very
yellow.
yellow. It's the thing.
Well, you're not
it's-
looking at it.
I'm not looking at it. That's exactly
Okay,
it. I
okay.
can't see it.
You
Yeah.
couldn't
I-
do this though.
Yes, no, I couldn't.
Faden
do,
is
I
wearing
can't,
a yellow
I can't
tank
do a
top.
yellow that I see.
I feel like a matador, and you're a bull right now.
Yes, you see me.
Let's talk about Bastila.
Yes.
Let's,
Other than yellow.
other than a yellow lightsaber, Bastila, a Padawan. I mean, we're gonna
Bastila's
just.
a jerk.
I think for this part, for this companion, I mean, obviously we always spoil the game here, so we're just gonna talk. Hey, your character's Revan. That's a very important part of the game, and that's a very important part of this relationship with Bastila, your parole officer, basically,
Yeah.
who canonically Revan fucks and impregnates and has a child with.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I didn't do a canon playthrough.
You-
Okay, I have to
No.
ask the burning question that has been burning, and
Yeah.
I've been saving it for the podcast. Can you save Malik and Bastila?
You didn't save Bastila?
I killed both of them. It didn't give me the chance to save either of
You
them.
can save Bastila.
You can definitely save Bastila.
I
That-
tried to get her to come back to the light side, and she was like, "No,
This-
kill me."
This was
You say,
something
"No, I
I
won't."
discovered through my friends because this was a game I got hooked on and I got my friends hooked on it. None of them saved Bastila. They could not figure out how to save Bastila, and I didn't understand. It's a very specific dialogue tree. You have to choose to save her. It's not just persuade checks.
That's
Yes,
right.
not.
It's specific choices you have to make in the conversation to make it happen. And
Okay.
it was just the choices I was naturally making in the conversation. And my friends never made that pattern of choice.
I figured it out. You were saying you need to come back to the light side to her.
Yes.
Mhm.
I was saying I need you.
Yes.
We can do this together.
Oh no, I was all
Yes.
about Jedi. I was not about come into my pants, Bastila.
Yeah.
Come, no, I wasn't even. I played as female. It was more just like we have a bond.
Yeah.
We use that bond to save each other.
Okay.
It's the personal
Okay.
connection because the philosophy that does not matter to her anymore. She's been convinced that the dark side is the way, and so to say just to assert that she needs to change to the light is not the thing that's going to matter to her. I think is what the writers were intending.
I
Well,
like that.
it's also
It's-
like she experiences material conditions in that sense
Yes.
instead of ideology of the Jedi, which
Yes.
never worked for her.
No.
She is experiencing things more like at its level, like more actuality in
Yes.
reality.
This is a real thing I experience. Is this bond with you?
Okay,
Yeah.
And it is meaningful, and I felt its power. And the times when I've made decisions that were different than what I expected, or you made decisions that were different than what I expected, that bond affected me deeply.
Yeah.
And I think that's the line they were going for.
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it needs to
Yeah.
be personal because
That makes a lot
it's
of
what
sense.
Jolee says. Love doesn't condemn
Yes.
you. Love will save you.
Yes, Jolee.
Fucking
See, by
Joe.
that time, I had gotten to 100% light side points, and I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna be the Jedi weirdo now."
Right.
You gotta do the Jedi way. It's all about the Jedi.
Yes.
Come to the light side.
It's like poetry. It rhymes. Are you kidding me? This is very similar to how Dale played his character in our Star Wars campaign.
Oh boy, it all makes sense now.
It all makes sense now. This is like
It's like poetry.
it's like poetry. It rhymes. Yeah, and so it's something I always found interesting about Bastila. One, I love she comes in commanding. She will neg you to death. She is constantly calling you a piece of shit.
Mhm.
She's
Don't fall to the
constantly
dark side,
berating
you
you.
weirdo.
Stop falling to the dark side, which makes more sense that she's constantly harping on it because A, it's
Mm-hmm.
all Jedi tell her to do.
Yes.
They don't actually help her. They don't actually make a connection with her because they see her as a vaulted prize, this token on a battle map.
We got our battle meditation. We need
Yep.
that. Keep that on lock.
Yeah, she has a special battle meditation which makes her armies really good at combat.
Mm-hmm.
That's nondescript, but it rules us. It's so sick. It's so sick that she can just meditate so hard and the
Yes.
troops fly in better formation. I'd love it.
She just thinks about strategies and they happen.
Battle meditation, such a great power.
Mm.
Really useful in the Star Wars TTRPG. But the person we played with that had the ability from like session
Jake.
3.
It was Jake. It was special
Jake.
guest Jake.
Jake never used it once, even though we constantly reminded him, "Hey,
Why are we
should
not
you use
surprised?
battle meditation this session?" And Jake would say, "Oh, what does that do?" And we would say, "Jake, it lets your coworkers and teammates."
Your coworkers. That's what we call each other as
Coworkers.
players, as coworkers.
It lets your teammates succeed roles. And Jake was like, "Oh, not me. Oh, okay. I don't need that."
Amazing.
I can't believe he ended up throwing away the lightsaber he threw away. If that's his character, that's interesting to me.
It's so interesting. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here.
Apologies.
No, it was me that brought it up. I'm trying to keep myself on track because I could go on forever about what you just said. That's very fun. And Dale doesn't know. Dale can't know either.
Yes.
That's the best part. Yeah.
KOTOR 2?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, boy.
sir.
Yes.
1 year.
1 year. Literally, we're mimicking what they did in real life. A year of development time
1
to
year.
make the game.
Wow.
That'll really stand out to you.
Well,
when
they
you play
sent it out to a different studio, too.
Yes.
Mhm.
The studio to send the game out to
studio.
for your sequel.
The studio to send the game out to for your sequel that you want to push out in a quick amount of time.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
I
And
love
so-
you, Obsidian.
Yes.
I mean, they're just a company. I don't love a company.
Listen, I love the people that work for that company.
Mm.
I don't know them, so I don't love them. I don't know. I
have
respect their
A
work.
lot of love to share, and
Yes.
they can have some of it.
You really are New Vegas pilled.
Yep.
Which, same.
I love them for the joy they've provided to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel no love. This is an inanimate object. These are
This
people I
is-
don't know.
Hater over here.
Hater mode, hater hat on. And you know who's the biggest fucking hater in this game is Bastila.
Bastila.
Yes!
Back to
And that's why she's so fun to make fun of.
Oh, anytime Karth and her got into a fight, it's like, you answer Karth's questions. He's right.
Yes.
And Bastila is constantly doing these little slip-ups that you don't really notice your first time playing through the game.
Yeah.
Of just saying, like, your stuff. And, like, very trying to, like, not blow the secret that you're Revan and you have this bond and you just...
You blew the secret.
I know, right? I already blew it earlier, but...
I did not know. 20 years.
Yeah,
I did not
20
know.
years.
And when it was so good.
I was so happy
It
to
was
hear that
so
when I heard
good.
that. Yes.
It's like, wait a minute. What? And then it starts doing these flashback cutscenes, and I was like,
Yes.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But when the first time it was revealed to me, I was like, oh my god.
It's so good. They're like
Yeah.
the seeds are planted so early with
They
Karth
are.
saying, hey, Sith techniques
Yep.
can alter the mind, which is a really great statement because it's a Jedi thing that they did.
Mhm.
Just finding out your Darth Revan and then playing through the game, just very, very rewarding.
So good.
So good.
Bastila is just constantly, she's a Padawan, which is my favorite fact about her,
Mhm.
honestly.
Just a Padawan.
Yes.
Just a Padawan, kind of going rogue without a master, it feels like. Just nobody...
Yeah.
I feel like she was raised by all the masters at Tatooine and just they threw up their hands and were like, I guess go fight now.
Fine, go. You're
She
good.
is the primordial Clone Wars Padawan, where she was that we are at war and
Yep.
you are powerful and we need you.
We need you now.
And
yeah.
I think she's annoying.
Oh, yeah.
But as a kid, she was just annoying. I couldn't see past the fact that she was annoying. But as an adult, and a jerk, yeah. And as an adult, I can see, as somebody who helps young people grow and change, it's a product of her environment.
Yeah.
It is as you said earlier. It is the Jedi it is the Jedi who turned her to the dark side.
Yeah, 100%.
When Malik turns her, it was something that was already happening
Mhm.
because of the environment she was raised in, because of the situation the adults in her life put her in as a child.
As soon as they found out she had that battle meditation, she stopped she stopped being a person.
Yep.
Also, the Jedi do really fucking weird mind games we'll get to when we talk about Juhani.
Yeah.
It's just like some of the
Yes.
most, well, I mean, just Revan at all in general, constructing a fake personality
Yep.
to your character.
Yes.
Just mind-numbingly evil shit.
I really liked watching Bastila struggle with emotions and like going through her personal quests.
Yeah, the
watching
bomb
her
quest.
resentment for her mom and her love for her father.
Yes.
And then her going, and I know that I shouldn't be feeling this because Jedi,
Yeah.
but
And I have no outlet for this, so I'm going to tell you, someone who would get it. And that's the thing that's also so interesting, because she knows the truth. She knows
She
at
knows.
some level you get this, and I need to like share that with you because you would understand me. And you can. And that's how you strengthen the bond a lot with her, saying, yeah, I get how you feel. Mom sucks sometime. But it's weird. Her mom does suck, but at the same time, she's also completely wrong about the situation because her dad just loved her mom so much, so he went treasure hunting to keep her alive for the medicine. And they both decided, hey, we need to give you to the Jedi because treasure hunting, there's no retirement. There's no, like, you don't get to relax. There's no
Right.
days off.
Nope.
There's no, it's, like, so dangerous. You don't get You don't get skills to learn a lightsaber when you treasure hunt. You have a blaster, and you hope you don't fucking eat it.
Mhm.
And her dad eats it.
He gets eaten.
He gets eaten.
Yes, absolutely.
I love being evil and just be like, yeah, take the holocron, call your mom a bitch, yeah. Like Darkseid, just like, yeah, it's yours, Bastila, you deserve
You
it.
have the right to this.
And then Bastila's like, man, this feels fucking bad. I shouldn't have done this. Why did you let me do this?
It really is. I love the phrase you chose, "kick the puppy" playthrough for
It's
Darkseid,
so-
because that's all BioWare ever gives you.
Yep.
It's if you don't get to be a bad guy with principles. You don't get to be someone who makes hard decisions for a greater good.
Right.
You're a psychopath or you're a liberal.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then maybe you can make a mix of those choices and pretend you're something more nuanced.
But you can't break out of that.
No, you really can't. And what's frustrating is if you canon Revan was right in the middle. He
Yep.
was supposed to be a nuanced character who saw flaws in both sides, but
But he isn't, though, because the way people talk about Revan in KOTOR itself,
Yes.
Revan was also kicked about He built
was fucked up
He
evil.
was a Sith, and
built up a murder droid.
I gotta ask, did you ever read the Revan book?
HK-47.
The Revan book does more to explain why Revan became what he became, and
Yeah.
the SWTOR game, the MMORPG.
I don't want to get
We don't need to
any
get into
of
that. But that game also explores Revan quite a bit more, and they do try to explain why he was a kick the puppy Sith, but he certainly was.
It still
He
doesn't
was.
make sense for me.
Yeah.
Especially because the starting incident of Revan and Malak turning to Sith is the Mandalorians are killing people on the Outer Rim in non-Republic worlds, and so the Republic is like, hey, we want to start doing something before they get us, and the Jedi are thinking, well, this is obviously a Sith trap.
Yes.
There's a Sith somewhere in this. The Mandalorians can't come together and actually be a threat. They have no means to do that. There has to be a greater mastermind just looking for the man in the shadows and saying, we gotta wait. We gotta let people die.
Mm-hmm.
Jedi fucked. Jedi is so fucked. And Revan and Malak are right, but they're the classic right, but too much, and thus now fully evil.
Yes.
I am right to stop the Mandalorians, and now I have to murder this puppy planet
Yes.
to stop them. And it's just, it's a lot, because, I mean, it's also very kind of Star Wars too, in a way. This is also Star Wars, which I think this is why it kind of works. Star Wars is operatic, big emotions, big feelings, big evils versus big goods.
Wizards in space.
Wizards in space, but they really try to do a lot to have some more complexity in KOTOR, and it just misses every so often.
Mm.
But yeah, so we escape Taris, have Canderous help us out, steal the Ebon Hawk. How do we feel about the Ebon Hawk?
It's a cool ship.
It's
I
a
love
cool
it.
ship.
Oh, it's a cool ship.
You seem a little hesitant, Dale.
It's Millennium Falcon Light.
I mean, it's called the Ebon Hawk, so
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It worked for me.
It's no Outrider, I'll say that.
What does not work for me is the random encounters in space. I hate those rail segments.
Terrible.
Until you mentioned that there's a radar, I struggled with them. And even
Oh,
after learning
yeah.
that there's a radar, I still struggle with them.
Oh my.
Do you want to know the
yes.
secret? Did I tell you the secret?
The secret
Never
is just
stop
mash
shooting.
A. Never
never
stop
stop
shooting.
shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like when you have the cutscene of it happening, start mashing A once the cutscene ends, because you can actually get some
Yes.
shots in and destroy like half of them right away. And you go you move it slightly to the left every time.
And the hitboxes make no sense.
No
just
sense.
throw as many lasers out there as you can, and you'll get them.
I played a lot of Rogue Squadron. And Rogue Squadron 2, the section where there was you could unlock the Millennium Falcon turret sequence from A New Hope, and you get to play as Luke in the thing, and it doesn't have a reticule. I spent a lot of time doing that, and so it was it translated easily for me
Yeah.
Okay.
in KOTOR. So I've literally never once, because I also only played ship games too, where this was a part of KOTOR as a kid.
Yeah.
I was ecstatic there was a turret section that I could do my Millennium Falcon, bow, bow, bow. Great kid, don't get cocky.
Yeah.
Pew. And it was, I don't like the turret sections as much now. They're pretty mid. But I loved them back when I was younger.
Me too. Me too.
Nice.
I did. I don't now.
Nope, they're
Yes.
not good. They're just
Yeah.
kind of boring, and they happen too much.
Too
Especially
frequently.
at the end. If you have the PC version with Extra Planet, where you can
Go
go
to
and
Yavin.
You can go to Yavin. You can get all the equipment there, and you can go back and forth to other planets to finish up your last minute quests. If you're at the very end of the game, it's non-stop rail shooting sequences to every planet. It's pretty miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're not fun.
No. What first planet did you go to after?
Well, we
Taras?
should talk to Tatooine first.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
the
I
first
guess
After
planet.
Dantooine.
That is the
Easy
first
to forget,
one, yeah.
I think.
Forgot all about
it's the
Dantooine.
Jedi training zone.
Yes.
Where you kind of learn-ish how to be a Jedi.
By fighting Lion Buffalo? The Cat Hounds.
Yeah, the
What
Cat
What the
Hounds.
hell is that design?
I like them. They're like dog buffalo, right?
Sure.
Well, hounds.
Yeah, hound
Hounds
with
with horns.
But they look like lions almost.
Yeah.
So I don't like them.
I like them. They're cool. They're sick.
Yeah.
They're just running around, causing havoc.
Mhm. And there's lots of them, and they eat people.
So many of them.
There's some good Jedi conversation where the old grumpy Jedi Master, I think it's Vrook?
Yeah.
No,
Farouk.
Master Vandar.
Vandar.
Yeah.
Vandar. Vrook is the Yoda,
Yoda.
like, who speaks
Yeah.
normal.
Yes, he does. He does not speak backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Yoda is the only Yoda species who speaks backwards.
Yes.
Officially, so far. Like, there hasn't been another one that does that. Yaddle doesn't do that.
No, she doesn't. Because in the
Nope.
comics, she does speak, and yeah. she
Yeah,
doesn't
and
speak like
in
that.
the Tales of the Jedi story where Count Dooku...
I haven't seen that.
Oh, you should. You
Yeah.
actually need to watch those.
Yeah.
The Ahsoka ones are okay. Well, they're okay. They're 15 minutes. They're short.
Gotcha.
I recommend them. I like the Count Dooku stuff. I like Count Dooku being like,
Interesting character.
fuck this Jedi shit.
Mhm.
I like it when a character says, fuck this Jedi shit, because especially in KOTOR, the Jedi are just like, evil?
Yeah.
They are all sitting here like, oh, congratulations. Nobody's ever learned the Force this quickly before. You're so good at this. Wow.
Yeah.
What took...
We'll make you a Padawan in just a few days.
Yeah, you're not even a Padawan. We'll make you an apprentice and then just send you out.
Yeah. All you need is a montage. We got you.
Mhm.
All you need is a weird montage. That
Really-
montage is so
Yeah, really
weird.
montage. Yeah.
Like the characters look. The image of your character holding data file in front of their face, they're like holding it in a very petite, like just like 3 fingers clamped sort of way,
Mhm.
and they're just like, it doesn't look like they're reading it. It just looks like the screen is just in front of their face. It's really
Just
funny.
looking past it.
Yes.
Just looking past it. It's just goofy. Goof-assery. Vandar just being like, how do we not know? How do we not know the Dark Lord will return again? And then Rook being like, shut up, man.
Yeah.
Shut up. Did we talk about
Yep.
this in private?
He says it right out loud. He's like,
Yeah.
the Dark Lord will return or could return
Yeah.
because we're training this guy.
Yeah.
He says it, and you
He
don't
does.
catch it the first time you play
No,
it. No,
wow.
it's like what?
Some
why
people
would
catch
he
it the
say
first
that?
time they play it.
Yeah, maybe some people do.
Did you?
I did not.
Big brain Faden?
No. But like, it's also one of those things, if you're not really super paying attention, you can miss it.
Yeah, it happens quick.
Especially when you're 10.
Mhm.
Especially when you're 10. Especially even now. I mean, clearly. Because, did for you, which
Mhm.
rules. I love how this twist was preserved in amber for
Me
you and just
too.
let
so
out.
special.
It was
Yeah.
good. It was
That's like
great.
so amazing. It's
Yeah.
like, having Spec Ops The Line happen to you.
Oh.
Oh shit, sorry, did I?
No, other people have spoiled that one.
Or
for me.
BioShock. This does the BioShock twist way better
Way
than
better.
BioShock could ever dream.
But like this one isn't. Did you actually know you're playing a video game?
That's true, yeah, that one.
This
is true.
twist is. Did you actually know you're the bad guy that died in the beginning?
Well, didn't die. Jedi don't kill their prisoner.
For
And that's like
all-
another thing. Basil is
Yeah.
saying Jedi don't
Jedi
kill their
don't kill their
prisoner
prisoner.
Yeah.
unless you're certain people who they do kill and are fine with killing. But
But
they
the story is that Malik's attack is what kills Revan. He dies in the attack.
right, but he
is what
doesn't
they sell
die.
you. No, but that's what they sell you.
That's what they sell. Right, but that's what the
Yes.
Jedi. That's the Jedi's Weasley. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't actually kill, and she doesn't even say that Malik killed Revan. What she says is Malik attacked Revan,
You're right about that. Yeah.
and that's it. And it's
Yeah.
like they're very they're so careful, and they never use pronouns for Revan. Is another big hint.
Yep.
Is because they can't record both lines. But
Yeah.
Candace does say he once, which was very confusing for my playthrough.
Oh.
I was like, that ain't right.
well, you wonder if everyone knew that Revan was.
Yeah, Candace probably didn't.
Well,
know.
no, that you do
No.
find out later that everyone does know.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the thing.
Yeah,
and then
sorry.
they start using she
Yeah.
Yeah. after that. Like
Yeah.
but for the majority of the game, they have a lot of the voice lines. They just say Revan. They don't say even they or them. They just say Revan mysteriously. It's all those little things that make for like kind of like clever dialogue that I like. How about Juhani? We gotta stop the Grove presence. The first time I was a kid, first time ever playing this, killed her.
Butchered her. Didn't know there was a choice.
Didn't know I couldn't.
Well, you got to do the right thing and talk her back to the light, which I, of course, was able to do.
No,
How'd you
she's
do
the
that?
dark side. You got to kill her. That was how I thought.
Do you want to know how I did that?
Yeah.
I did that by discovering that the persuade skill in this game can largely be ignored because you can just talk and say some of the right things in a way that dialogue can just get you there.
Yep.
And I found that to be the case in a lot of places, actually. There are persuade options, or you could just pick the right dialogue options.
Or you can actually be good at persuading.
Yeah,
Instead of saying something
that's a good way to put it.
like it's instead of saying something that's just wild and doesn't make any fucking sense.
So while I really do want to go back and do a persuade playthrough, the only thing that a high charisma is going to net me is more potent force abilities.
Or
I'm all
money.
for that.
Money from
money.
Huts.
You'll get more money.
Oh, God.
But sometimes it kind of shortens the game. You have less gameplay if you
True.
can talk your way out of
Fewer
anything.
clicks.
Yeah.
Less XP, actually.
Less XP too. Yeah, because you don't. I don't think you get XP for persuade.
Sometimes you do, but usually less. Like in the fucking guides to these games, it's like
It's because you it doesn't tell you.
Yeah.
There are so many things the game does not tell you.
Oh my God,
and
yeah.
that is frustrating.
Yeah.
Especially when you're 10.
Yeah, so you saved Juhani.
I saved
talk her
Juhani.
back to the light.
Good.
I flirted with her because I was a woman, and Juhani can be in love with women. A glitch made her bi. She's a glitched out character.
You told me very early about the Juhani glitches, so I actually never touched her
That's
until she
unfortunate.
was forced into my party.
Yeah, Juhani can, like, if you have her like in a dock and her quest activates, you lock yourself out of all of the quests. Companion quests.
I did not know that.
So I just didn't touch her.
Wow. I did not know that. I used her a lot because I needed a guardian on my team.
She rules.
She's good in combat. She's a useful character. She doesn't have a lot to say. I feel like they underwrote her.
Yeah, she feels the most underdeveloped, but like if you get her talking a lot, you get her story about like, well, first you think, okay, first we got to go.
I'm sorry, she's more underdeveloped than the droid that unlocks the door and then does nothing else.
I mean,
no.
Droids aren't people though. This game posits, I think.
True.
In this game.
Yeah, especially because the sex droid quest is a lot.
Sex droid quest
in Dantooine.
Remind me. Oh yes, the
Where...
companion droid.
Yes.
No, there are some.
I could never find that fucking droid.
He's he's a far corner, like literally the furthest corner of Dantooine that you can travel to.
He's by the Crystal Caves.
Yeah.
Did you not go into the Crystal Caves?
So the Crystal Cave is where you get everything that makes your lightsaber really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never found the Crystal Caves.
Oh boy. It is the far corner of Dantooine. You have to go through all the most zones, the sand grounds, all the stupid,
and enemies, and
tons of cat hounds, and it's a very far corner. And
I did like the Shakespeare on Dantooine. Two houses alike in nobility.
Fucking Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Mr. Strangel, Mr. Matali, Rahatia.
Oh God, that's the best part. Actually,
it is the best part where they all come out and they all say
they couldn't have not made that a joke.
That's 100% a joke.
It had to be a joke. Yeah.
Run now, kids, run, go. That's what I told them my second playthrough. Just get out of here because the worst.
I did too.
The worst outcome is like, stay here and build a house in the space in the map area between the two houses. I'm like, that's no. You don't want your in-laws and your parents living across the map loading zone from you.
No.
I would like to be a few map zones away. That's not possible. There's not enough real estate here. I do like that one guy landed, built his house, and then another guy landed, built the exact same house across the way.
House, yes. And they seem to be in the same business or something. It's great.
Did you solve the murder mystery, Dale?
The first Phoenix Wright moment.
Yeah,
yes.
for real.
Yes, I did. The first of many Phoenix Wright moments in this game. When I got to like the fourth Phoenix Wright moment, I sent a text to Faden and said, "Hey, why didn't you just sell me this game as Star Wars Phoenix Wright?" I love it.
Yeah.
I would have eaten it up.
I do like it.
And I did eat it up.
It's the most Columbo, like... Actually, I think both of them are guilty. And let me tell you why.
Yeah, it was very good.
And the guy just being like, normal people would miss this, but not a Jedi. Not us. No. We understand.
It made no sense to me as a kid. And so I was like, what the fuck? Why can't they just keep talking to me? Why do I have to keep going back to talk to them again?
It is weird.
Because as a kid, I didn't understand that people have different things to say after you say things to them.
Yep.
It's a person changes as you speak to them.
Sometimes.
And what they are willing to reveal
Yeah.
changes based on what you've asked before. And that was not something I was really thinking of. And so as a kid, I always just skipped it. It's too annoying, too boring. There's no combat.
There's no comment.
And so
Lightsaber will go burr.
yeah, as an adult, it's okay. It's just not interesting a story enough for me to care all that much about the logic solving problem. I'm not a puzzle guy. That's the problem. I'm not a puzzle guy. Yeah.
I didn't puzzle. I brute forced it.
Well,
because there's no failure. You
Well,
can
no,
just,
there is-
You
well,
can say
there
the wrong
is.
thing, and he'll be like, "Actually, you should think again."
Well, but if you make the final accusation
Yeah.
wrong, it will be like, all right, you think it's this one guy? Okay.
Yep.
I don't know if that's right, though.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I
so
reloaded.
if you fail the final accusation, game over. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not.
Well,
That would be so funny.
Yeah,
You fail the
lose.
accusation,
If you can't,
the Jedi
if
cuts
you can't
you down.
solve
Revan's
this
story.
murder, you don't get to be a Jedi.
It's not even that. Just like the master's like, all right, time to die.
Yes. Which brings me back to Johanny. If you kill her, you still get to be a Jedi. How do you fail that test?
Yeah, and like the
And
Jedi,
you're
are,
Revan.
the Jedi are testing her too.
Yeah.
Because
Which
her
is fucked
master
up.
isn't actually,
actually dead.
even though they made her
Right.
think she
Yeah.
is,
Yep.
and she also loves her master. Like, horny for her master.
I guess I picked up on a little subtext there.
It was pretty explicit
I don't
text.
think I thought it was horny.
Oh,
I thought
she
it was,
talked
I
about-
thought it was obsessive, but not horny.
She talks about how she's beautiful and that she loves her fully and didn't realize it until she struck her down. And then when you kind of convince her as a woman, she's like,
Wow.
"You somehow always you know exactly what I like," is what she'll say to you if you're a woman.
She definitely doesn't talk like that when you're a guy.
No, because she's not into guys.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I like that about Johanna, and like her story of, oh, I actually grew up on Cathar, Mandalorians kind of fucked it up. We escaped to Taris,
Yeah.
and I'm actually still processing that. And I'm kind of pissed at you all for basically you're the reason why my home world is destroyed. And yes, it sucked, but I still have complex feelings. That's where I grew up. That's where my dad was murdered in a bar by this random slaver who was trying to sell us and shit. And then you run into that slaver and then have
Because
to fight
of course
him.
you do.
Of course you do. The galaxy's small and fate.
It is very small.
Oh, should we talk about? So we're going on a quest for the Star Forge to get all the maps.
That's what we learn. We get the shared vision with Bastila. It's like,
Shared vision, aka your memory.
Bastila wakes up.
That
She goes,
Bastila has
"Hey,
a-
did
you remember, yeah.
That Bastila has a back door too, which is kind of really fucked up. There's a lot of fucked up things about Bastila that they just don't tell you.
Force bonds are weird.
A dyad, one might say.
Yeah, they're weird.
I didn't pick up that those are just your memories until just now.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah. It's that good. It's-
Okay,
these are
those
visions.
are just
They-
your memories.
Yep,
not
the
Force
Jedi, they're
visions.
tricky, man.
they're tricky.
Huh.
Yeah.
They're little fucking bastards, is what
Yeah.
they are.
Wow.
Go on, special boy and special girl. Go.
It's
Yeah.
the Force. It's speaking to you. You
Oh my
must follow.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, so weird. You saw a vision of Revan and Malik?
And they were
Must be
looking
your
at something?
destiny, I guess.
Go find out what that is.
Yeah.
Gotta go find out what they're looking at.
Do you know what Malik's name was before he became Darth Malik?
No, I don't remember.
Frank.
Alec.
Alex.
Dead serious.
That's good. Ooh.
Fucking this game.
I'm
Nice.
bad Alec,
Nicely
baby.
done.
I'm
Malik.
bad Alec.
That's good.
Yeah.
Darth Brandon.
Yeah.
They don't confirm that, but
He looks like a Brandon too.
He looks like a fucking
Really
Brandon.
looks like a Brandon.
Soul
Bald
patch.
head with the soul patch. That's good. That's good.
We find a bounty hunter that we kill and Terra survived. Calo Nord.
Kalanor!
He's
Wayne-
a cool character.
He's kind of a dork.
Yeah, he looks like a dork.
I love his armor.
The
It's
yeah,
very
his
goofy.
armor's good.
Oh, the armor. Oh, yeah, his
that he
cap.
wears.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's so weird. You
The
kill him and then
goggles.
you get a really metal heavy armor.
Yeah, you loot his body and get armor that looks nothing,
Nothing
like
like
what
he
he's
did.
wearing.
It's
Yeah.
called Calo Nord's armor. They should have just
Yeah.
given you his stupid fit.
Yeah. I think he's a little squat. I think
Yeah.
he's a little bit shorter than the normal character.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's I don't know.
Well, he's also going 1, 2,
Yeah, that's-
3
that's what's cool about him. Is he's the
the
guy,
first time.
Yeah.
And then he does it repeatedly.
Yeah. It was a cool intro for
It is
this,
a sick ass
for
intro.
this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not speaking to people, only ever giving them a count of 3 until he kills them.
Yeah.
That's what we're referencing.
And then when he does speak to people, he just is like, well, I'm going to win Davik's appreciation, Canderous.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay, so you're just like a ladder climber. All right.
Yeah.
Climbing that ladder.
Climbing that ladder. Should we talk about Kashyyyk first? Or Kashyyyk?
Kashyyyk?
And
Sure, why not?
We'll just
Yeah.
knock down the planets. Plus, we get to go to a character that I love first.
Yes.
Zalbar.
Yeah.
And
Zalbar.
And Zalbar's dad. Oh, and Jolee.
But yeah, Zalbar is like, hey, fuck. So I'm what you call a mad claw here. I attacked my brother with my claws, which is a big no-no in our society. You wouldn't know this because
no one knows this.
no one knows this.
Yeah.
It's because you're all outsiders and you shouldn't know this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that you're here. I wish I prepared you, but also I didn't want to talk about this.
Yep. He makes it very clear.
he makes
that
it very clear he doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And even after you do it, he doesn't want to talk about it.
Nope. I respect that about Zalbar. Just like,
Yeah.
you know what? Big guy wants to keep his thoughts. He's going to outlive you. You're kind of a speck of time to him, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And
He's a prince, man.
he's a prince.
He's got shit to worry about.
He's
big
an
things.
exiled prince. The
Yeah.
prodigal son returns.
Yes.
Chundar, his asshole brother, is pro-slavery
Mm-hmm.
for profit.
And
For
they made him
profit,
darker,
too.
so you know he's the bad guy.
Yes,
Yep, yep.
he's has black
Classic.
fur, so you know he's the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like a normal-looking Wookiee. This game is so weird sometimes.
Yeah.
Circuit Corporation.
Intro to Circuit Corporation. My
Circa.
first thought was if I don't get to leave Kashyyyk leaving Circuit Corporation in flames, I will
Yes.
not be happy.
Yes.
And then I thought, well, the two people that I'm going to be talking about this game with really like this game, so I think that's going to happen.
Oh, you can do such the lib thing though, and be like, "Why don't both sides work together?"
You can certainly do that, and I would
I don't know
never
why you
choose
would.
that choice.
Yeah.
I would never,
Never.
Side with
unless
the
I
Wookiee.
was a
Yeah.
kid,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Violence bad." No, you can't hurt the slavers. Isn't that as bad as being a slaver?
No.
No,
No.
10-year-old me,
Yeah.
no, 11-year-old
No,
me,
it's
no, it's not. Oh, it's good. It's pretty shallow.
It's a very shallow planet.
Yeah.
I think you ultimately get to do very little.
Mhm.
And it's
on-
the only planet that you can't teleport back to the
Yes.
Ebonhawk
Yeah.
on,
Yes.
which is obnoxious.
It's so annoying.
Especially because although you're on this big, cool forest planet, it's very dark. It's a very singular color palette, and you're
Mhm.
running in straight lines for the most part. You're just
Mhm.
running in a straight line to the next other tree.
Yep.
It's where you encounter the first Trent Reznorak in the game.
That's not what they're called.
Of course they're Trent Reznoraks. They have 9-inch nails.
Ah!
I think they're called terror. What are they
Oh.
called? Yeah, no, it was. I appreciate it.
Oh.
As soon as you said it,
I
was
worked
like,
on that a
Oh,
long
man.
time.
Good.
I did not work on that a very long time.
but you did work on it.
I did work on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Trent
the
Reznor.
horrifying anti-force beat. You look disgusted,
Yeah.
Uncle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. you disappointed Uncle. Damn.
No, it's okay. All is
Terentarak?
uh,
I don't know.
Tarentatech.
Tarentatech.
There's
That's
R's and
the big
T's.
beetle
and K.
boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tarentatech.
Yeah, they're chumps.
They really are.
They're really built up as the ultimate boss fight you're going to encounter. It's a lot worse when you got to fight two by yourself.
Later on.
But
yeah.
one with a party isn't. It's you're
nothing.
done. You fight it, you're done.
It was over.
Yeah, I like that one guy in Dantooin's like, stop everything
You got
you're
to
doing.
know.
You gotta know about the horrible force beasts if you're going out there.
3 of my friends have
bad.
died.
Yes.
A total of 3.
Which is true. You do find the 3 friends later on in the game that
And it's
die.
built up in the data pads as the Great Hunt. It is this monumental thing to be done. And
Chumps.
you're squishing beetles.
Squishing
You're
Beetles.
squishing beetles.
Your own personal Jesus.
I learned we it has a blade
That's
in
Depeche
him.
Mode. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Has a blade in him. You give the blade to Zalbar's father,
Mhm.
and he forms
And Zalbar's like, I got the blade. And Chundar's like, well, I got the handle, which you said was more important.
Fenrir or Fenrin or what's this?
Friday?
What's
What's
the father's name? Daddy Zalbar. Big.
It's got an
Yeah,
F and
it's
some R's.
yeah, it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
his dad.
Yeah. His dad.
Freyr.
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 It looks like someone Wookieed up a like Norse god.
Yeah.
It's Freyr.
It's
just
Freyr.
Freyr.
Okay.
Freyr.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so you form the Baka sword.
Yeah. Which is a pretty good sword.
Literally the first time... Last month was when I realized, oh, right. Like Chewbacca.
Baka's sword.
I thought
felt
that immediately, and I was like, well, this doesn't work. This is in the past. Chewbacca's not alive yet.
Well, Chew is a whole extra sound, so he's the Chewbacca.
Oh.
Yeah. Chew could be a prefix that matters a lot. For all we know, we don't speak. What is it?
Shirawuk.
Shirawuk. Yeah.
Shouldn't be able to recall that off the top of my head, but I do. Yeah, no, I completely went over my head for 20 years that it's Baka because Chewbacca, and I felt very dumb upon learning that information. You know, it's just one of those things.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I played this game a lot, and I never realized that. We get the star map from a grumpy computer.
Very grumpy computer.
It's especially upset with you if you're not good at military strategy.
Or being history's greatest war criminal.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the specific prompts that it wants you to do.
Yeah.
Searching for the psychological profile of a serial killer.
Yeah, essentially, because that's most of the Rakata Empire.
Well, and Darth Revan programmed...
And Revan specifically.
Yeah, Revan programmed it to do that.
Yeah.
I like that it gives you the imitation game question. If you get knowledge that an enemy attack will happen, do you intercept the attack? Or do you end the war? Whatever.
Or do you let it attack your city so it doesn't know that you have their codes?
Yeah, I watched the imitation game. It's a good movie.
I've never seen it.
I don't know it either.
I don't even know what it is.
Well, it's based
Turing?
on real history where Alan Turing deciphered the Nazi code.
Is it Benedict? Benedict interacted this?
Blenderdick Cabbage Patch is in it, yes.
Yeah, he plays Turing.
He plays Alan Turing.
When are we going to get an actual gay guy to play Turing instead of someone who looks like a gay guy?
He does.
I watched the first. I usually watch the first 2 hours and 10 minutes because the last 20 minutes of that movie are really sad.
Oh,
yeah.
He gets castrated by the state.
Yeah. They're like, oh, and by the way, this war hero was medically castrated by the state.
Yep. Fucking rip.
History sucks.
History sucks. And we learn in the Kashyyyk history, we get into ancient alien shit. The builders planted the forest.
No, the builders made the computer and the computer malfunctioned.
Right.
And then the forest went way too tall.
Right.
And that is don't tell the Wookiees that.
Right. They can't handle this.
They would not be able to handle it.
It's some very it's some very gross shit where they're playing on oh, you can't tell people of indigenous cultures that
you
science
can't tell them
exists.
that God's not real.
You can't tell them science exists or else they'll blow their minds because they can't comprehend that. And we'll get into that again later.
And it's so much less interesting than the Wookiees having cultivated this planet.
Yeah.
Which is what they believe they've done. Why couldn't that be the case? Because
we're smart.
Because technology
ancient
is the fabric
aliens,
of Star Wars.
Yes.
It's actually imperialists can be the only ones who grow things.
How about Jolee Bindo?
Yeah, fucking Jolee.
Boy. My favorite.
Fuck
Jolee's a really cool character.
He's so funny.
Jolee is
What? I've earned my right to be a mysterious, cranky old man. Can't you let me have that?
So good.
Constantly just angry at you for just existing and being young.
Kind of.
Yeah. It's spitting truth constantly, though. I mean, my favorite Jolee quote is, everybody always figures the time they live in is the most epic, most important age to end all ages, but tyrants rise and fall, and historians sort out the pieces.
Yeah. He survived the Exar-Kun War.
Yes.
That's a big... Dale, you look like you don't know what the Exar-Kun War...
I've been hanging on by the seat of my pants for a lot of whatever you two are
It's a
talking
very
about.
important Jedi Civil War.
Yes, the first Jedi Civil War.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Not
the
really.
most recent Jedi Civil War.
Yeah, it was the one that...
This
it
game.
was, 40 years ago, there was another Jedi Civil War that happens. The galaxy just has to keep dealing with this fucking shit.
Yep. And that is what I love about this game.
They talk about that more than twice.
Because Jolee specifically mentions Nomi Sunrider, who that was originally Bastila was supposed to be the granddaughter of Nomi Sunrider.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She also knew battle meditation.
Yes.
And she's
she ever use it?
Yes. She's in Tales of the Jedi. It's a comic series.
Arno also knows battle meditation. He never uses it.
But Nomi Sunrider does. And she comes late to the Force. Like, she has, like, this weird husband who, like, is like, I'm a Jedi and I love you and stuff. Because it's also before the prequels. And so Jedi could have families and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so he actually gets his wife to go to the Force after he dies from some smuggling deal of some sort.
Why
Anyways,
did the prequels turn Jedi into Catholics?
Because it kind of rules.
Yeah.
It kind of rules, and it shows how arrogant they are, and they fall because they refuse to have human attachments.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, no, prequels kind of rule. They just, the craft wasn't as great as it should have been.
Yes, they didn't come together.
No.
The way they might have, given what they so much potential in the story itself.
I think
what he was going for.
Yeah.
Lucas has always had a very political mind and a very purposeful mind when telling his stories, and it just sucks that he can't seem to put the pieces together the way it works in his head, I think.
I think it's like part of the problem is he was out of practice. He didn't direct a movie for 20 some odd years.
Yep.
And then he's like, I'm going to pick it up. I'm George Lucas. I can do a whole new ass Star Wars trilogy.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, I am Star Wars. Of course I could do that.
Right.
Yeah.
He
I
calls
am the
them
Star
laser
Wars.
swords, and I absolutely love that to this day. He doesn't call them lightsabers. He
Laser
just calls
swords.
them laser swords. And Han.
Yes, and Han, and it's so fun. When I recently learned he wrote Star Wars Episode 1 pretty fucking not long before it was directed. Like the story did not exist more than like a year or two before they made the movie.
And, like, that's pretty common for script writing. It's just...
But for a man who's always sold this vision and selling his second movie as Episode 5,
yeah.
like you'd assume he had an idea for 1, 2, 3, a real idea more than...
I mean, it's right. He had the idea of
bones.
Fall of the Republic. I think that's the best way to go into projects like this, honestly.
Yeah.
If you think too hard about it, you get bogged down into the details, and then you just make this, like, massive, sluggish, overweight, like, sort of, like, overwrought. You make this overwrought sort of lore and stuff.
Brandon Sanderson.
Yes, Brandon Sanderson, Brando Sando, the bane of my existence sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
I do get, but he hasn't made a movie in 20 years.
Yeah.
He's bad at this.
Yeah.
And nobody can tell him no.
That's a good explanation.
Nobody could tell him no either.
Yep.
There was no Harrison Ford that say, I can like storm him with a script and say, you can write this shit, but you can't make people say it, George.
That's a good quote.
It's such a good quote. Jolee, though, just the ultimate gray Jedi, but servant of the light, which is, I think, very important. He is someone who doesn't work with a Sith, but he also sees the Force more in gray and complexion instead of black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like that he had a wife and shit. He's so cool. Did you get much dialogue with him, Dale?
A little bit. I got to the part where he mentioned that he had a wife, but not much further than that.
So you got the cool story, though. I think my favorite Jolee story is the Jedi who had destiny swirling around him at all times.
Yeah,
so good. Yeah.
And he did, in fact.
Yeah, he was important.
He was important.
Because he was the one who blew up the ship
Yep.
with his corpse.
With his corpse.
Yeah. The guy,
So good.
the guy threw him down the shaft and he destroyed the ship.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Just wonderful. Yeah, so Jolee trained his wife, actually, in secret.
Yeah.
Is the whole thing. And she turned to the dark side, to Exar Kun's side.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. And the Jedi Council put him on trial because, again, this game loves trials.
It does.
And he turned himself in and everything, too. He said, I failed as a Jedi. I trained a Sith. And the Jedi Council's like, innocent, because you're rad, and you came to us. And it's
You did the
another
light side
fucking mind
thing.
game thing where it's like, you rejected your wife, and you came back to us. This is the important
Good
thing.
job. And
Good job.
He recognizes that's not a good job,
Nope.
which is what makes him an important character.
And he leaves as a Padawan. A lot of Padawans in this story. No Knights.
He is a Padawan. That's why I think one of the most interesting things is your quintessential Jedi Master on the team is a Padawan.
Yeah, just...
Yeah, because the ranks don't fucking matter.
Nope.
No.
It doesn't matter. It's who you are and how you relate to people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There will be an anti-Jolee in KOTOR 2 that
Yeah.
is very fun.
Okay.
Fascinating character.
What if instead of optimism, hope, and love, you just have nihilism?
Yeah.
What if you just have someone who fucking hates the world?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that'll be fun.
And yet also claims to want everyone to be better and stronger. We'll talk about it.
Just a
next year.
lot.
We'll talk about it next year.
Just a lot.
A lot.
And so Jolee's companion quest. Let's hop on over. Get a little wet. Go to Manon. Talk to the fish people.
Yeah.
Fishy, fishy, fishy fish.
Yes,
you
another
can't get me
trial.
behind these walls. I can't. Every time I think of Manon, I think of the dude in the locker. It's
Yes.
like fishy, fishy, fishy,
Fishy,
fish.
fishy.
That's all I can think of when I think of Manon. There's a lot more to Manon, but
Yeah,
Like that
Manon, the neutrality planet.
yes.
Sith and Republic exist here
Because
peacefully because we told them to.
well, and they have
And we've also got their medicine.
Yep.
Yep.
We got the medicine
Only
juice.
source of medicine in the galaxy.
Who oversaw that one? Bad
For real.
oversight.
Bad oversight.
And for everything else in the Star Wars universe to be Bacta instead
Yeah.
of Kolto
Mhm.
makes no sense to me because
Well,
yeah.
there
Sorry.
is a technological process that's different, and then they like find Bacta sources, and Bacta was like a weird form of Kolto mixed with shit.
Right.
It's dumb.
But instead of just having it be the same
I
damn
know,
thing,
yeah.
they had to do that.
They had to make
Yeah.
something new and fresh.
Yep. Because that's Star Wars.
That's Star Wars.
The more different things you have, the more we can sell.
Yeah, well, and the more things change, the more they actually stay the same because it rhymes. It's like poetry.
Yes.
My favorite George Lucas quote.
It's a good one.
So, how do we feel about? Let's go through the trial. Sundry's trial. Sundry.
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 Yeah, it's a fun one. And I don't like trials and puzzles, but I like this one because you have to know what they want to hear, and not just what's true.
Mhm.
It's not about what's true. It's
Well, if you want to make him innocent,
yes, well, if you want him to get through,
Yeah.
yes, then the game really doesn't tell you which decision is the right decision.
Yeah,
I don't think it leaves you with a message of you made the right move, which is so good for Jolee, so good for a Jolee quest.
yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you do? How'd your trial go, Dale?
I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure I did not get him out.
Did you show the evidence of, hey, this is him murdering her in her sleep?
No.
You didn't get that evidence?
No.
Oh yeah, he did it.
He did it?
Yeah.
He did it.
You actually
No,
go
I
to the
did not
Republic
find that
base,
evidence.
you
Yeah.
slice into their computer, and you can take the recording that they have kept locked and keyed.
Okay, I
in
think
their
I was going to
files.
try and I was going to go back to the Republic base, but I think I must have forgot to.
So you
Yeah, I just was like, here's what's going on. He was having an affair. They were in love. The wife knows about it. I think that the guy, I think it's a setup because the one guy was like, yeah, the Sith paid me to plant his
evidence.
badge.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that dude who's like, I saved up my money for a nice hotel, and this is what happened.
It's so good.
This-
So they got me with the red herring.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, so you got free.
What?
Oh, you got him free?
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think
I
so?
think
It
that
wasn't
ended
enough.
It,
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
did
enough.
not know for the longest time that you could free him.
Oh, yeah.
As a kid, I just never got it right. I just, I
Yep.
just could not convince them, and it took me a while to figure out which things to emphasize and which things to not emphasize.
Well, also, here's the actual solution.
Mm.
Witness tampering.
Yes, I mean that is yes.
You convinced the
actually
hotel
have
desk
to.
person that, hey, he actually left before the shot happened, not after,
Mhm.
and that's just enough.
Yeah.
That and the planted evidence, and boom, you're good to
You
go.
pretty much have to lie.
My
to
dark
get him
side
out.
run.
Even if you don't know he's the murderer, you have to lie to get him out.
Yeah.
yeah, but dark side run, I lied so the Republic could be protected. You just got to do what's right under the worst circumstances. Even though I'm constantly like, yeah, the Sith kind of rule. I love the characters who are like, you seem a little dark sided. I'm a little concerned about you, and I'm
Yeah.
like, boy. Oh, that's another trait that I played for my dark side character is if someone would confront her, if there was an option to say I'm sorry, I didn't know it would come over me, I would always pick that.
Just to
Nice.
get away with it. Yeah, I love that.
Just like, oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
That's as evil as it gets.
I didn't mean to make this woman die in front of me, or strand this man with his droids. Oh no!
Oops.
Oops.
The underwater segments in Manon are kind of fun.
I hate
Stomping
them.
around in the
So slow.
very slow suit.
So
yeah.
slow. The space walking parts,
The
water,
space walking.
the
Yeah,
water walking.
I hate that.
Too slow.
The environmental suit you get for that. I
It's
just
really bad.
Soma.
It's just, yeah. Well, Soma's good, though.
Yeah, Soma is good.
A gram is better than a dam. Sorry.
What?
That's what Soma is, never mind.
from Huxley.
It's from
right?
Huxley. Yeah, from Brave New World.
Oh, okay.
It's the drug they take in a Brave New World.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how'd you solve the fish problem? There's a giant fish guarding the star map.
I talked to it. No,
I persuaded the fish to go away.
Yeah.
I looked up the solution to the puzzle.
Oh yeah, you had a hard time with the injector puzzle.
It's math, and I'm not good at math.
Yeah. I struggled with that I was dark side most of the time as a kid, so I was like, just fuck it.
Kill it.
Just kill
poison it, whatever.
Yeah, just kill it, whatever. Also,
Fuck the galactic economy.
yeah, but I mean, even if I wanted to figure it, I wouldn't have been able to figure it out.
Yeah.
For me now, I was like, okay, I'll just do this, and then so I figured it out this time.
It was a pretty
But
simple puzzle of splitting and then filling and then try to eject it
if you can do fractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big part. It's
Yeah.
fractional, which I'm not good at fractional math.
It took me a long time to figure out. I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta fill the small side, then send it to the big side, then empty it, and then there'll still be a little left, and then send it back, and then fill it, and then
I had to play around a lot.
all I had to do was like.
It doesn't take that
doesn't
many
matter.
moves.
Yeah,
like ultimately, you can do it in like 3 or 4 moves.
Yeah, I did it in 3 moves.
It took me forever to figure it out.
Just like that one tower that you find in Korriban. It actually technically there's less moves, but I always do.
Oh,
it the
that
slow
one's
way.
easy. Because I don't know why, but for whatever
Hanoi Tower.
reason, for whatever reason, those just make sense to me.
So
Some puzzles just make sense to me.
what is behind the Korriban Tower one? Because my interface was actually glitched, and I could not interface with the computer, and I got soft locked in that room.
Well, but the thing is, you just go to the other side and just fight the monsters and get the thing, get the ice and cold thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
No,
No, you have to do both.
you have to do both. I only did one. I only fought the monsters on my second playthrough.
I only had to fight the monsters.
Yeah.
The second
Oh
room was
no, but you
optional.
don't have to do both. You're right because all you need is the grenade.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to do both.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's just different options. If you can't do the combat, you got to do the tower.
Yeah.
But
So what?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the tower was just a different way to get
Yep.
rid of the lava?
Yep.
Okay.
and in Manon though,
Yeah, back to Manon.
back to Manon.
Oh
You
my
know, we're
gosh.
talking about puzzles.
Yeah.
But my dark side route, I got kicked out of Manon. I couldn't go back in.
Oh.
Because I kept lying to the court, and they're like,
Yep.
"Stop lying to us! I
Yep.
swear to God, just tell us the truth." Well, basically, just say you're okay. We accept it, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. The Sith did it.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, get out.
Yep.
And then they're like, you literally hard cut to like your ship
Flying away.
in the
Yeah.
into the
No, it's-
hangar,
yeah.
and the doors close. And it's like unauthorized access, so you could land there, but you
Yeah.
can never go in.
Wow.
You can never. Yep. And I never did any of the side quests on Manon as a kid because you can't go back.
I like the Southcast people who are like catfish that are very slick,
Mhm.
very slimy. Another slimy texture.
I love the way they talk. That's a good
I love
voice.
the way they talk.
It is agony. I love it because it's so unique. It's a fish
Yeah.
talk. Like that
Yeah.
sounds. That's a fish.
That's what a fish would
That's a
sound
fish.
like.
But
Yeah, audience, if you don't know what a Cellcast sounds like, look it up.
I'm not even going to try and replicate it.
No.
Yeah, it's
they also repeat though. The thing about the alien language is
all of them. Yeah,
it's
Muka
the same-
Shaka Paka.
Muka Shaka Paka.
Muka Shaka Paka.
Mukashakapawa.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, you hear, especially when you're like tabbing through the thing quickly, and you're like, I know, and you just hear the same lines.
Mhm.
It's good though. It's good. I like how they, try to make it sound interesting, but
It sounds like somebody speaking a language.
It sounds like
but
someone speaking a
It's definitely
language.
gibberish.
Mhm.
Yeah.
should we talk about Tatooine? Going back
Yeah.
to the primordial
Yeah.
planet, which apparently where all humans come from.
That's right, because if you give them the pearl, you can learn that.
Yeah.
Correct? Yes.
Yeah.
The Crate Dragon Pearl. If you return to the Sand People
Oh.
and give that to them, you can learn the history of the Sand People.
Oh.
And like
yes.
HK posits like, oh shit, this might be the birthplace of all humans. And the reason why they wear their coverings is because we're so similar. They're disgusted at the people who destroy the planet look exactly like us.
Pretty cool.
I like that a lot. I
Yeah.
put that Crate Dragon Pearl in a lightsaber.
It's the best lightsaber crystal in the game.
Best lightsaber crystal.
Yeah.
The plus their attack is
Yep.
so good. And then
Yep.
killing the Fortuna, which is funny.
Which is what makes it such a meaningful sacrifice to get that information. You have to give up the best buff for your
Yeah.
best weapon to learn a
To
cool
learn
a
a
cool
very
Star
cool
Wars
Star Wars
fact.
fact.
Yeah.
Yep. that also kind of sucks because it's back to the ancient alien shit where it's like, but this culture can't, you don't tell them that this is where all humans come from. They find that out. That's too much information for their brain. They'll just kill you.
Yeah.
They'll just kill you, Master. Let's talk about HK-47.
Meatbags.
HK-47 was the only thing I knew about KOTOR going in.
Yeah.
Just because of all of the memes from growing up on 4chan. And just meatbag this, meatbag that. 4chan loves HK-47.
That doesn't surprise me.
When I started replaying KOTOR, I was like, I feel like I remember HK-47 being like a bad Bender parody.
A little
And
bit.
it's kind of true. But HK-47...
He's a bad robot. Yeah.
Right, but
Bad robot.
Bad robot. And also says meatbags like Bender does.
He does, yeah.
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 And the thing is, he actually rules. He actually is really fun. I love all of his stories.
He's so funny.
Did you guys get like his assassination stories?
I did not recover any memories.
Any?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it sucks because once he knows you're Revan, he'll stop telling you stories.
he'll stop telling you stories.
Oh.
Because the whole point of telling you stories is trying to figure out who his old master was.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes through his previous masters,
Which is really funny.
and it's all hijinks, basically, and how he is the one that ultimately kills his last master.
Yeah.
Do various things. Like one guy is like a corpo person who wants his entire competitors gone, but he doesn't realize that his competitor was actually a subsidiary of his company, and he became the top like running person at the competitive company. And HK-47's like, well, I kind of have to kill you, but before he could be like, hey, I'm gonna kill you. Maybe you should tell me to stop. The guy stabs HK-47 with some sort of tool into the head, and the shock kills his master.
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot of good ones.
Hijinks.
a lot of hijinks.
Yeah, he's a tricker.
He's a goofy.
He's
Yeah.
a guy. Yeah, he's a tricky guy, and he's really well built. He's an assassin droid, and boy, does he love to assassinate.
He loves to assassinate.
I had a lot of fun letting him down by doing the light side shit. He was in my party
it's
a
really
lot,
funny.
and he'd be like, "Master, this would be the bloodiest route," and then I'd go somewhere else, and he'd be like, "Oh, that didn't get nearly as messy as I was hoping."
Yes.
I like how he like prefaces things, like says, "Query: Why are you doing this, Master?"
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Explanation.
Observation.
Observation. Very. This is also a very BioWare thing with the Elcor soon.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Where the Elcor,
They do
the
the
whole
exact same
alien
thing.
race does the exact same.
Patronizing reply. I love it when he's making fun of you, and he just tells you, "I'm making fun of you. Here it is." I love it.
I would not suggest that you have limited skills, Master. I only mean to say, please be careful in there.
Yeah. Yes. Good stuff.
Yeah,
And the repairability, letting you upgrade your droids, is pretty neat. I like that.
it's only for
Dialogue.
HK-47,
Only
right?
for HK-47.
Yes, but it
Okay.
feels cool in this game.
Yeah, that's right. I forget
it's-
you.
yeah.
Yep.
It's a neat thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's nice little bonuses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I should have taken more advantage of the computer and repair skills.
Kinda.
You wouldn't know that on your first playthrough, though.
No.
They do not
It's
seem
not
that
necessary.
important. They're never necessary. It's mostly just extra XP experience.
I
and XP
really did like
opportunities.
when I had the opportunity to slice into a computer system and then go through the security cameras and like,
Yeah.
oh, there's the barracks. Turn on the gas vents. Why not?
Why does this barracks have a
Overload
gas vent?
terminal. Yeah.
Did you ever accidentally overload the terminal into
that I
yourself?
was standing at?
It's
Yes,
the best.
absolutely.
Yeah, you blow yourself up.
Very
so
funny.
Fun.
Game over.
Yep,
Reload.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, Tatooine, we kill a crate dragon to get the star map.
Tatooine, we do a Mandalorian season 2, episode 1.
It's so funny how they're
Yep.
like, we're gonna just do that but high budget.
Yep.
Oh. And then we're off to a very interesting planet, Korriban.
Korriban should be the last planet you do, no
It
matter what.
really
Yeah,
is.
it
It
Especially
makes the most
Yep.
sense.
I love being evil and be like, I'm Darth Revan, let me the fuck in. And everyone's like, what are you talking
Revan's
about?
dead.
And if
Come
you
on.
go to Korriban right away, you actually trigger the Leviathan event super early.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
I thought
Yes,
you have to
I
do it after.
believe so.
No, it's after 3.
After 3?
Yeah, it's after 3 star
I-
maps that you collect.
I seem to remember you can trigger the Leviathan event
I
early.
don't think you can.
I might be crazy.
I don't
But-
think you can.
I'm pretty sure going to Korriban early does something. It does something.
Because you can't have Bastila on Korriban, right?
Right.
Right, you can't have her on Korriban.
Yeah, she's like, I'm too popular.
Yeah.
They know me. They have my pictures on the wall. I can't go in there.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows what I look like. I'm famous. Don't you know?
But if you do Korriban last,
She's not there.
she's not there because she's captured on the Leviathan, and that.
Yeah, should we talk about the Leviathan real quick? Just like a nice little dungeon.
Oh yeah, and
It's
and
neat.
It's a nice little dungeon, and like the second or third time in the game where they're like, "Hey, Bastila's got slave Leia underwear. Check it out. Check out this mostly naked Bastila."
Do you know if you put the dark Jedi robes on Bastila and take them off, she'll have the outfit she was wearing when she was captured by the Black Volcars?
Oh no!
It's great.
It's great. The sexy lingerie, the like.
Did you know if you take everyone's clothes off right before the end, right before you go do your solo stuff on the Star Forge, you get the final end credits and everybody's in their underwear.
That's good.
Everyone's in their underwear and the end credits is wonderful. I did that on accident because I
Nice.
wanted to have all the equipment available to me for the final solo section of the game.
Just in case. Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
So the Leviathan is
Sorry.
where Saul, Saul,
Karath.
Karth's old guy
Yeah.
is like
Mentor.
War buddy.
mentor, war buddy. Yeah. Saul
Because
Karath
soldiers have
captures you.
mentors.
I mean, they do.
Yeah. It just feels weird to me. It's like a master Padawan relationship,
Yeah.
and they're pilots.
They're
Yeah.
they're in the army now.
Well, generals, really, right?
I mean,
Admirals? He's an admiral.
He's so admiral.
And Karth is like a captain?
Yeah, but I don't.
What does Karth do in the Republic military?
Right.
He shoots.
Right. Is that all he does?
Famous pilot, and they put him in charge of a frigate.
Yeah.
And it's like
That's not what you want him.
Yeah.
No, you don't want your
flying that.
good
But
pilots
he's
flying
also
that.
a soldier, and he talks about being a soldier. He was a soldier,
But
he's
he's
a
also
pilot,
tactician,
but he's
commander?
but he's a commander. But
So weird.
I don't know. Yeah.
He does something.
He does something.
They keep
He
him
does
around.
this.
Yes.
Oh, I love how pissed he is. Like, the Jedi are clearly not telling us something. Are they telling you the whole truth, too? And your character can be like, now that I think about it, it doesn't feel like they're telling me the whole
Yeah.
truth. Car's like, yeah, something's fucked here.
Yeah.
Something's
What's going
really wrong. Like, let's take a step back and think, why are they sending a Padawan and a you out?
Yes. Yeah.
He's onto it from the beginning.
He's on to he's not on to anything. That's the thing about Car.
He just doesn't like Bastila. Bastila's annoying him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he doesn't trust the Jedi.
I love that. Like, he's like, I just want to be let into the loop, and you can say, Karth, you were born out of the loop.
Making fun of him is almost always the right
Oh,
choice.
It's a good time.
And so get tortured. We get a
Torture,
weird
yeah.
torture scene where all the volume
Yeah.
is mixed so weird that the
Just
screams
are
are
loud.
really loud.
There's a really weird line because you play as a solo character,
Mhm.
right? After your character is getting tortured, you get to play as one of your companions,
Yeah.
solo, which is interesting.
Who'd you choose?
I chose Jolee
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
to persuade my way out of there.
I think
And
that's all of us.
I think there's such an interesting line where
Mm-hmm.
they say because you persuade the trooper to get you separated from everybody else, and the captain chooses to say, "Why should this man be segregated from the rest?" And Jolee is the only black guy on your crew, and they use the word segregated instead of separated.
Separated.
It just feels weird.
Well, especially when if Jolee is with you on Korriban, when the one woman, like, I can't remember her name, like the apprentice to the Jedi Academy master.
Yeah, purple.
Yeah, purple
She's
Twi'lek.
purple.
She's like, and who are these people? And you're like, oh yeah, they're my slaves.
My slaves, yeah.
Jolee's line takes priority out of everyone's, and he starts doing some like weird like caricature stuff that was like really fucking uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't like this at all. And like I was looking up the dialogue because if certain characters are in certain parties to have like banter reactions, they will actually start taking priority over other characters. So you'll have to like
Interesting.
remove like Zalbar and have Karth, and then you can have special dialogue. But Jolee, for that specific conversation, overrides everyone. You have to remove Jolee if you don't want Jolee to respond to that.
This game
Interesting.
did come out in 2003.
2003.
2003.
It's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked. But
Still fucked,
I
yeah.
chose Candace for my first playthrough.
Yep.
Who fakes a bombing
Yep.
incident.
I always chose him as a kid.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I chose Juhani this time for the first time ever. She's actually the most logical choice. She just stealth
Yeah.
and appears out of nowhere and it's like, die.
Yeah.
And then you just have Juhani just doing force jumps all across the hall and one hit everyone.
Yep.
Nice.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Karth kills his mentor, gets a, hey, Bastila, this motherfucker told me something, and he won't say it. He won't say what's up.
Yeah.
It's just like, you knew this entire time, huh?
He's got that
Pissed.
power now. He can hold it. Yeah.
Pissed at Bastila for keeping the Revan stuff. Oh, it's good.
Mhm.
Because you just start feeling like something's going wrong.
And then we get the Revan reveal.
And you
Yep.
get the Revan reveal.
Kick Malek's ass real easily.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god, that guy ran away.
Such a chump.
Yeah,
Such a
like
chump.
the big bad guy runs away from me the first time I encounter him. What? Yeah.
I put him in a spin.
But also it's
Whirlwind is such a great force ability.
Whirlwind is the funniest fucking animations where the characters are levitating.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Spinning in a circle? Hell yeah.
Like flailing arms like,
It's
oh.
especially good on the animals.
Yeah.
It's watching a crate. No, not a. What are they? The raid. The
Desert raids.
Desert
The
raid.
desert
Watching a
raids.
desert raid spin in the air is absolutely goofy.
Mhm.
Love it.
I love the way they run at you once they see you. It's like, ah! And then their
Yeah.
limbs are
Yeah,
flailing
the
out.
big goofy
Ah!
shovel arms. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's good.
Oh.
The wildlife was very good in this game.
Wildlife is very good. It's just
Alien
very weird
aliens.
creatures.
Yeah.
Attach monkeys on cash.
But attached monkeys are so cute!
Yeah.
Did you kill them for the poachers?
Hell no!
Oh yeah. No. No. When I was a kid, I did, but not this time.
What, you think
Yeah.
I'm evil?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, did you help out Mission's brother Griff?
No, I soft lock myself out. If
Oh.
you open the cell he's in before you do the dialogue, he does not exist, and you cannot complete the quest.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yep. Saved myself right out of it because I saved
I
just
lost
by
200
pure
credits.
happenance. Yeah.
Yeah, you invested
You
in
fell
this
for it?
Teresian
I fell
nail.
for it. I was like, at that point, I had like 9,000
Yeah,
credits.
yeah.
What's 200?
I
Why
love
not?
some of the names in this game where it's like Griff. I'm like,
Griff is good. Yeah.
What
One-
is this guy a good guy?
yeah, and just like Mission going like, well, he was my older brother. He was really cool
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And then
Every
that
story you hear
fucking
about this guy.
intergalactic space hussy.
Yeah. Yeah, you meet his girlfriend. You meet his
She's so
ex-girlfriend.
good, Lena.
Before-
Lena-
because of
Le-
course you do.
Right.
You just run into his
Oh, it just happened upon her.
yeah,
Yeah.
small galaxy.
Yep, it's really funny. You can actually talk to her before she appears for Mission on Dantooine.
Really?
And like, there's like a dialogue box. She doesn't say anything that pops up that says, "Oh, she's looking nervously at the ship," because she knows
She
Mission
knows
is there.
Mission's there. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
And
Big Jake's here.
yeah, fucking all the Griff stuff's good. It's just slime ball. He looks
Oh, yeah.
slimier too.
He looks slimy.
Yeah, he's shiny boy.
He kind of looks like
Yeah.
the evil apprentice, at the
Brandon.
Sith Academy.
Darth Brandon.
Oh god, we didn't even talk about Darth Brandon killing his ass.
Oh,
which is-
yeah, it's such an afterthought.
It's such
Yeah.
an afterthought because he's nothing. Darth Brandon, nothing.
Yep.
I like how you can be like, I'm gonna get revenge for killing Trask. Oh, I'm so mad about this.
Right. Oh man.
You killed the
He
tutorial
taught
guy.
me how to play.
He taught me how to use security and switch to
Yes.
other characters.
Open the box by doing this. How would I have known?
Go get your equipment.
But for Trask.
Yeah.
But for Trask.
Hmm.
Oh, and yeah, go to Korriban, do the prestige trials, anything notable. I like the Sith tombs.
Yeah. Me
Systems
too.
are cool.
Little dungeons.
I was really grateful for the destroy droids force power.
Yes.
Droids
Yeah.
are chumps.
I like how Force Lightning's okay if it's for droids.
Is it really?
I mean, right? Isn't that what Destroy Droid basically is? It's like you're
True.
shooting Force Lightning
Yeah.
out?
True.
Yep, but it only works on droids.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more
You can't
humane.
destroy droid a person.
Some fucking...
Even though it's a visually and how else could it be different? Yeah, I think it's just a visual depiction of you ruining the inner components of the droid from a distance with telekinesis.
Oh,
That's
of
what
course.
I try to imagine, but
But
doesn't
it
look
also
like that.
is Force
It is
Lightning.
just
It's Force
No,
Lightning.
Force Lightning is red in this
I
game.
love... It's purple.
I thought it's the big arcing red evil.
No, that's Drain.
Oh.
Yeah. Boom! It makes
Yeah.
that deep bassy.
It does, yeah. Very
Yeah.
scary.
And
It's
then there's
good.
Deathfield, the purple
Deathfield's
lasers.
purple.
I love
Yeah.
Deathfield.
That's one of my favorite abilities.
Maybe I got to do a dark side play.
Force Storm, just like, I'm controlling lightning. It's just like coming down on everyone.
Unlimited power. Yeah, no, you do that.
Yeah.
you do that.
Yeah, and especially
Great.
it's like if you're fully dark side, it costs nothing.
Yeah.
And
I did look up the bonus for being fully dark side is not as good as the bonus for being fully light
Nope.
side.
Yep. They definitely steer you towards that.
Yeah.
Yep. For fully optimized game.
What is it? It's something like you get an extra 100 force points for being fully light side,
think something.
and
like
then
that.
dark side is only 50.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Because being good is the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
I like the Ajahn Paul tomb. Where
John Paul, yeah.
Yeah, where the Force Ghost, like, I feel much regret over everything I did.
A Sith
This
Lord
sucks.
who's stuck.
Yeah.
And he's a good old, not like a Force Ghost like an Anakin or a
Just in
or a
between.
Yoda. He's
stuck
just
there,
stuck.
yeah.
Like he's a ghost.
Yeah.
He's not a Force ghost. He's a real ghost.
Mhm.
Like he made bad
Full of
decisions.
Give me,
Yeah.
put the right sword on the altar, please.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I wonder what sword it is. Probably the notched one. Put it on.
It's good.
hmm
That's a good.
I like the guy coming in and be like, "Hey, you got that sword?"
And you can give him any one of them.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I got a vibroblade. Here you go.
Yep. Yep, just take the sword. Yeah, this is right. And then he gets killed.
He gets
Yep.
fucking,
Yes, he
does
does.
By
that- you arrogant, you didn't even think to check.
Very good.
Excellent. Yeah.
Just
Korriban's like my favorite planet.
The Sith are so openly evil. They're just
Yeah.
like over
Mhm.
here torturing people, making them stand for hours without food and water.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the cells in
Oh my
in
God.
these KOTOR games are so terrifying. It's just a force field that you can barely escape. It's inches away from your
Mhm.
face, and
It's like you got 3 inches on each side.
yeah,
Oh.
like if you're really good at crisscross applesauce, then you could sit down maybe, but
Or like, or perfect to like hug your knees and rock back and forth as you're
Yeah.
getting tortured.
yeah,
It's perfect torture chambers.
horrifying.
Fine. I like how'd you all resolve the Sith stuff? I killed them all both times.
Yeah, I killed them.
Oh, yeah, I killed them both. Got a
Yeah.
light side point for it.
Yeah, they're too evil.
I killed them
Like,
both, but
yeah,
I was just like,
to let them live.
no.
They're too evil.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
I was also like, I am the powerful one. I'm Darth Revan. I like if you're a dark side doing it, it's like I'm Darth Revan. I have returned. I am
Yep.
killing you all. And
Yep.
then you go to the people. Students are like, what happened to both the masters? And then you say, I am Darth Revan. Bow to me. No, you're not. Kill him.
Yeah.
I do like the
Yep.
one student's like, they just killed our masters. Are we?
Might be Revan.
Yeah,
Are
should
we
we
sure?
do this?
Can we do
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, we totally can. The guy
Guys.
says, "Yeah,
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the final section of the game.
Is it time for Star Killer Base?
It's time for the Star Forge.
Well, before the Star Forge, you land on a mysterious planet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. A
What
beach
is
planet.
Rakatan?
It's very pretty. Ricotta.
Ricotta.
I think.
No,
it's-
ricotta is the cheese. It's Rakatan, I believe, is the actual pronunciation.
they-
Well, how
they
did
are-
Stellan
they are-
Skarsgård
that's
say
what I'm
it in
saying.
They
Andor?
are the ricotta, though. They are.
They are the ricottans. Yeah?
Yeah, it's not ricotta. It's rakata.
Ra-
It's
Rak-
lot of A's.
Rakata.
So many R's.
Ricotta.
All I know
They
is
are the ricotta.
all I know is Luthen from Andor says it once.
I missed that.
Yeah, he hands Andor the lightsaber crystal and is like, "This is from the defense against the Rakatan invaders."
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
That's
like-
old.
I'm like
Yeah.
pointing at the screen, like, "Fuck yeah,
KOTOR.
KOTOR, here it is."
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this plan. I love how like mysterious it is, but then it like kind of unfolds and it's like, all right, so there's this one tribe who's kind of dumb and evil, and there's the other tribe
Yeah.
who's kind of nice, and they're trying to redeem themselves, but they're all old, and they have lightning prison or lightning entrance.
Yeah, and if you tell them I came from the other tribe, they just
Kill you right
They
away.
just
Yep.
kill you
Yep.
instantly.
That was confusing to me, but then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess I get it. Yeah.
Just gotta
Yeah.
lie.
You just gotta lie.
Yeah.
Question. What are the Gizka? Other
Okay.
than just adorable?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Or
I
they're the
just-
ones that go rah.
I just let them chill
Yeah.
in my ship because they're cute and harmless.
Yeah.
now,
You can kill them for dark side points. You can sell them for credits on Manon.
yep.
So you can buy Gizka poison from a few different retails.
Or you can just murder them, slit their throat. They come back.
There are too many. They breed too fast, so you can just kill them. You can
Mhm.
You can kill them all you want all day long, or you can poison them, or you can sell them on Manon, or you just wait until you get to Ricotta and then they jump off.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah,
They might originate from here, actually.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Well, because I had them not on my ship, and they're still all over the place.
yeah.
Or
Well, I always assume they just leave your ship at that point. Because
That's what I thought, too.
Yeah, but also that I think they do originate.
yeah, which is
Yeah,
wild.
because they're already there. If you've killed them,
Mhm.
they're already there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of like almost a colonizing species where they kind of invade and populate and infect places.
Hell yeah. They're
Or-
like terror morphs from the
They're-
lesser known game Starfeld.
Arfie.
Well,
Arfie.
they're the rats of that followed the British the
Oh
East
my
India
God,
Trading Company.
that's exactly
because
what
the
they are.
Rakatan Empire is the British Empire.
Yeah,
If we
are.
wanted to come up with an analogy, that's they spanned the galaxy. They owned everything and enslaved everyone. And those damn Gizka breed faster than anything, and you can't get rid of them. And
Can't
they're
get rid of
everywhere.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
and
it.
and they stow away on ships.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Though the other alternative is they actually just like a ship landed and it was full of them and they broke out there. But I like to
Could be
think
that too. Yeah.
But I think it fits more if they actually originate from that planet because Rancors don't come from that planet.
No.
And they were just like, hey, we just have a whole bunch of Rancors running around. I'm like, great. I hate these fucking things.
Yeah.
They hit so hard.
They do hit
But
hard.
force
there's-
insanity.
Exactly. They don't have much wisdom, so you
Nope.
can insane them.
Did you have an issue with the Rancors?
Not at all. I have
Wow.
some really good force abilities
Yeah.
and just force spin them and then attack them.
I assume we all had the elders help us out.
Yeah.
Get into the temple.
Yeah.
How we feel about the temple? It's just kind of overly long. I feel like I could do without this temple. It doesn't really add anything for me.
You get to kill a lot of Sith.
Yeah.
If you like combat, it's a lot more combat.
But the
Mhm.
Star Forge has.
and then you get
Yeah.
a lot more combat.
In the Star Forge.
yeah, but you, no, it's just more combat.
It's just more combat.
Yeah.
I do like the confrontation at the top, where like
Fight
Bastila.
with
Bastila,
Bastila,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
it's
good one.
so good. Oh
Mhm.
my god, the moment feels Star Wars monumental.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is a fated duel.
Da, 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 da.
That should have played at least
It's a
once.
preposterously easy fight,
Yeah,
but it is meaningful.
you get to make the final choice. Am I fully light or fully dark?
Yep.
I'm fully light.
Go fully dark. You have to kill Jolee and Juhani right then and there, and then you go back. And Kart's like, I can't be a part of this. I gotta go.
And you can make Zalbar kill mission.
With
You-
force mind dominate.
With force
Whoa.
mind dominant, you can force Zalbar to murder mission.
That's so
one of the
evil.
most dark side things
It's
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly evil. Just
Yeah.
like you gotta serve the life debt out, Zalbar. You swore an oath.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think it's. I can't remember. Do you have to fight
takes
him
a
after
little
that,
satisfaction
or do
in
you?
that.
He just
No, if
accepts
you
it.
force
Yeah.
mind dominate him,
Yeah.
he's yours forever. I think if you persuade him, he doesn't fight for you.
Yes. No, you can't. I don't think you can persuade him to do it. I don't think.
No. It's fucked up. But
It's
Candace
fucked
is
up.
like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Yeah. Okay. He's like, okay, yeah, Revan, you were the best.
And HJ's
Hell
you were
like,
you were the best. Let's do this.
HJ's like, finally, Master's back.
Yep. Yep.
T3's like, I'm just a droid.
I'm just a personality-less droid, utterly
boop.
devoid of anything.
Here's a
meaningful.
computer spike. Beep boop.
Yep.
Yeah, Darkseid is kind of more rough though because I'm like, all right, I have Candace and Bastila. Fuck me. Great.
Yeah.
I have the B squad.
Mhm.
Well, Canderous can be really good.
Candace is really good only if you do melee.
I actually found a build that works for him
Uh-huh.
with range. If you get the big super duper gun from Yavin,
Yeah.
the big heavy gun, and you load
It's
him-
like his gun but better.
yeah, and you can make him a ranged tank. So from range, he starts attacking and doing damage and pulling aggro, and then he pulls everybody to him, and then you can do whatever you want while he's aggroing enemies.
Okay.
But yeah, and he does a lot of damage.
Yeah,
If
he's
you-
just strong.
Yeah, he can do a lot of damage.
Starforge kind of gets some cool like fleet stuff going on. Got
That
the
was
Republic
interesting. A little
coming.
bit of tension there. I got lost in all of the
It's
combat.
the Starforge just constantly enemies just appear.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
nonstop.
It's
I'm
not
like,
fun.
I
No.
hate this.
It's not fun.
I hate
No.
this. You can't do
Yeah,
this
it
after
was
the
too
temple
much.
too.
Yeah, and it's because it's the exact same enemies. This
Yeah.
is the worst part. It's the exact same
Over and
enemies you
over,
done
yeah.
been fighting. It's just a lot more of them, and it's
I like that we get, I think, 2 separate cutscenes of Malik. What should we do? We
That
send a
is
bunch
good.
of forces
Yeah.
in, and he's cutting them all down.
Yeah.
Oh well, send some more.
yep. So, send
Send
your
everyone.
apprentices. Yeah, that's
Oh yeah, if you're in
Yeah.
Darkseid, he sends 3 different color apprentices at you: a red, a yellow, and a blue one. They have like they're dark Jedi robes, but like the main like front
That's
pattern
right, yeah.
is different colors.
Wow.
yeah, that's
Instead
right.
of having the fateful like the huge map that I really like in the like map room that Basila's commanding the forces, like a
Mhm.
giant war strategy like battlefield map.
You see the triangles flying around shooting at each other.
Good. It was good.
Yeah, and fight Basila there, or kill the 3 random apprentices you never see. Who Malik's like, you 3, you're basically it now. I mean, Darth Brandon's
Yeah.
gone,
Yeah.
Oh my
Basila's
God.
gone.
Yep.
It's just you 3. Good luck.
Yeah.
Whoever does it, You're my new apprentice.
You were wearing the most interesting robes. I just had to pick you.
Just had to pick
Yeah.
you. I do love the Dark Jedi robes, though.
Oh, yeah.
They look good on Jolee.
Yeah.
They look really good on
They look
Jolee.
Yeah.
great on Jolee.
They
They
do.
look great on everyone.
Yeah, they do look good on everybody. They're business robes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you killed Bastila, as you mentioned.
I did kill Bastila. Oops.
Yeah,
Tried to
oops.
save her, but she wouldn't
You were
be.
two
she
Jedi.
wouldn't
You were
hear the
two
words of the
Jedi
light.
killed.
I was, yeah.
She does turn the
Tides
battle
of the
meditation toward in favor of the Republic.
Oh,
if you
darn.
save her, she sits right down and says, "I'm going to keep battle meditating.
Yep.
You go do the thing."
You go kill Malik. Only you can do it, which she's right.
Yeah.
It has to be you. I like how Malik tries one more trick, like, ha 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 ha. Now face the true power of this fully operational battle factory.
Which is actually me just leeching power from Jedi.
Well, no, not even that. Just summoning the droids.
Oh,
The weird builder droids.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
And then I just turn around and go, okay, and then lightsaber the door and just go straight through and not fighting a single person.
I wish I knew about that.
It's because it's a long fight. If you have computer use, you can reprogram the computers to build a droid for you,
Just one.
and then it'll blow up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a boring fight.
It's a boring fight that is completely skippable by bashing the door with a lightsaber in one hit.
So good. I gotta do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
somehow missed that. Yeah.
No, it's so funny. I'm like, this is nothing.
And
Zap.
then you fight Darth Malik and his Jedi juice pouches.
I love when he
Yes.
I love when he says, "Don't you recognize all these very exactly alike men?"
Don't you recognize the Jedi clones walking mindlessly around Dantooine? Yeah.
No,
nope,
sorry.
No,
I
no.
didn't meet any of these guys. It could have been like Vandar.
Yeah,
It could've
give me a Vandar.
give me
some
the
of
masters.
people
Right.
that
That would have been
interacted
meaningful.
with.
But this game's
Yeah.
also obsessed with putting people in their underwear, and they don't have underwear models for Vandar and
Yeah,
Brooke and all
that's
of them.
true.
Because they're all in
They're all in their underwear.
Yeah.
It's so weird. This game really likes stripping you down.
Mm.
It's very interesting. The woman scout class has like it's just looked like bikini top and bottom basically,
Yeah.
but there's a line down from like the center of the bikini down to like the
Hell
center
yeah.
of
That makes it
the
sexy.
bottom.
If you
It's weird.
if you really like stop and look at almost any outfit in the game, you're just like, what the fuck is happening here? You pointed out to me, Canderous, his
ass straps.
his ass
Yep,
straps.
he's got ass
What are
straps.
they holding up?
Yeah, it's good. They're very interesting outfits. Some of the heavy armor suits just look weird, just
Mhm.
bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love it when a character has like a gas mask on, and they're in a serious cutscene of like cars in the gas mask, like Dustle, what are you Sith? Why
Yeah.
you Sith? And there's just like big like dark mask.
Or wearing like a Geordie mask from Star Trek.
Visor.
It just looks silly. Yeah.
So Revan Malik. How'd you deal with did you just let him suck all the juice out?
Yeah, can you stop him before that?
Lightsaber throw.
You could use any attack ability on those juice boxes and get rid of them.
You actually can't use like force abilities.
You can use
Besides dark side ones.
Oh,
yes.
here's my
I was gonna say
question.
you can use dark side abilities to kill
Or
those
lightsaber
things.
throw.
Yeah.
Would I get bad points, evil points for killing him?
Nope.
All right.
It's a mercy killing.
Points don't matter at that point anyway. 'Cause
That's
the
right. It's the
game's
last fight
done.
of the game.
Yeah.
I probably should have done that. No, I let him have every single juice pouch.
That's okay. You still kicked his ass.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it take you a few tries?
It took me 2 tries.
Okay, that's not
first,
too
The
bad.
first try, so I was really
Did you
struggling
use
to hit.
stims?
I used a lot of stims
Yeah.
because I was struggling to hit. It was a hard fight. But I had so many medicine pouches. So it was just a challenge of we got to watch my health bar. Okay, now I do the heal. And then the first time I tried the fight, I looked away for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, he can
Oops.
sneak up.
Yeah. Faden, what difficulty did you play on?
Just normal.
So this was my first time playing on difficult. I had
Yeah.
never, and I haven't spoken to this yet, but this was my first time playing difficult, and I found it so much more meaningful because I finally had to use all of the mechanics of the game to beat it.
Yeah.
Or to even like there were a few like Darth Brandon. A tough fight on difficult.
Oh, shit,
actually.
really?
And I had a pretty stacked fucking build. Like I know this game. I know the best equipment to get in the best order, and I did the force powers thing. It was a tough fight. And I had to use stimulants and shields on almost every boss fight. I needed stimulants and shields, and I was stacked. My stats were buffed into the stratosphere, and I think difficult can really be it can be a challenge, and especially if you do the thing on Terrace where you intentionally do not level yourself up.
Yeah.
That actually produced a challenge for me on that planet that I had never experienced before, and
shit.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because you have to use stealth.
Yeah,
you have to use mines. You have to use all your companions.
Never used stealth once.
I hadn't either before until I played difficult, and I was like, you know what, I can fuck with this. This is a tool I can use, and I really appreciated difficult because I had to use my tools. I had to use stimulants. I had to use shields. I had to consider which buffs I'm going to prioritize in attack order because I'll die too fast if I don't pick the right buffs in the right order. I don't know. So difficult was actually, and I showed you my stats Faden, right before I played. I was pretty stacked.
You were like +5 on almost everything.
+5 on almost every stat.
Wow.
Yeah,
and some like at +7.
And it took me 3 tries to beat him.
Woo!
I smoked him on the 3rd try. Once I figured out like the order of abilities to prioritize, it was done.
Yeah.
But figuring out the pattern was not easy at first.
I do like how Malik's still kind of a punk though when he dies.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like, "Oh, you were the strongest one." Oh. And then you're like, "Maybe you should turn to the light," or if you're dark side, yeah. Fuck you, man.
Yeah.
You're right, I am.
You're a loser before, you're a loser now.
Yeah, that's what basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
is. He's a loser.
I like saying this is your final lesson. Too bad you won't live to learn from it.
So good.
Ooh, I did like that we got the one scene of him without his mechanical jaw, and you just see the really like gross
his villain motif of having a wound.
Yeah,
every bad guy's gotta have some kind of catastrophic wound.
Well, and not that even specifically a prosthetic that makes you less human.
Yeah,
it's a little fucked. Yep. Star Wars has always been this,
but his vocalizer's great.
His vocalizer, it sounds cool.
Yeah,
it sounds cool.
It's like a Starscream light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a deeper Starscream, like a bass Starscream.
Yeah.
But he's also a punk named Alex, so you know.
Yeah. There were a couple of times where I was listening and I thought, is this my nemesis? Is this the voice actor of all voice actors?
Oh,
but no, Steve Bloom is not in this game. Steve Bloom is in every other thing, but not Star Wars KOTOR.
And Dale's personal nemesis.
For no reason other than he's just everywhere.
Well, we need one.
Yeah,
we all need nemesis.
Gotta have one nemesis.
Yeah, yes. I have Brando Sando.
I've got Steve Bloom.
And I don't. I say we all need a nemesis. I don't have a nemesis.
I'm sure you could think of one if you have more time.
I have one that I would not name.
I would like to add one more thing. I'm so sorry. I know we're going long.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Apologies.
This
is going to be our first 3-hour one.
Holy fuck. This is a 5-star runtime. No, this has been good. The last thing to kind of wrap up something interesting that I think about KOTOR is... Oh shit, I just completely lost it all. It was all
on to questions.
No, I hit it. It's not... probably
Pazak is rigged. That's the most essential thing to know about this game. Pazak is rigged.
Yeah. It's not even worth playing. It's like
bad blackjack.
Yeah, and the real strategy is, did you go first? Well, if you went first, you're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I never gave it.
Yeah, no,
you made the right choice.
I felt like Caravan. Like Caravan and Fallout New Vegas. I just can't.
Totally skippable.
Totally skippable.
Yeah.
Are we ready for some questions?
Yes.
All right. The first question comes from Nerd Ferguson. With the ease of access and metagaming information on the internet in today's age, do you find yourself playing differently or looking up things you wouldn't have noticed or done before?
I'd say for this playthrough, I did metagame because I wanted to see every angle. I wanted to get through all the details, and I still missed a bunch of shit.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known about the metagame if it wasn't for the internet. Like, not knowing to level up just never was in my head.
And the only reason I knew that was because one of my friends who I met later, like I think I met this guy in high school. So after I'd been playing the game and loved the game for years, he was a metagamer whose mother was a metagamer. And that was the only reason he knew anything about how to really min-max this game.
Yeah.
And all kinds of other games. He taught me a lot of the min-maxing, but I didn't get everything. I mean, even still, like looking up the wiki this playthrough, there was a lot. There was well, not a lot, but there were a few things I had never seen before.
Have you ever done the assassinations?
Yes, that was something I'd never done before.
Yeah, Dale, you didn't pick up the data pad.
When a freaking sketchy ass Twi'lek comes up to my light side ass and says, "You dropped this," and I've never seen it before in my life, I said, "Keep on walking."
Yeah, that lets you do assassination contracts.
Nope, I did not drop
ostensibly on behalf of the Republic. And then you find out that that's not at all the case.
Nope, it was just a guy knocking off his rivals in the organization so he can become number one.
Hell yeah.
It
rules.
It's great.
Also, there's like really...
And you get great equipment from it.
Yeah. A +4 strength gauntlet, real good.
Mm-hmm. Like a +3 dexterity boost from like a belt or some shit.
Yeah.
Very nice.
+8 stealth boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just wild stuff. And you get some interesting kills, like rigging a speeder to blow up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try not to do the metagame thing, looking up things online, usually. But for KOTOR, I did because I was very curious, since I heard there's a weird system to go about it. Because it's also Dungeons & Dragons, so multi-classing gets weird, and advanced classes get weird, and level 20 is the max.
Faden said I wasn't allowed to look up anything, and I have to do what Faden says, otherwise I'm not allowed to be on the podcast.
It was the right choice to not look anything up.
Yeah.
That's not true what I said about Faden.
No, it's true.
Faden did say that I can't look anything up, but I think it was
every single guide and every single Wikipedia is like, the player, Darth Revan.
Yes. Yeah. It's the worst.
It's wild.
Yeah, never read the Dune Wiki if you try to read those books. They will spoil everything instantly. Every article in the Dune Wiki instantly spoils everything that was revealed 5 books later on.
Paul Atreides, the Kwisatz Haderach.
Yes. No, it's worse than that. But anyway.
Well, right, as an example.
That's a very
as a good example.
Yeah.
It's just it's really wild because wiki culture is about this all-encompassing information that you have to just know everything specifically. Instead of, it can't just be like the player character in KOTOR or something like that. It's just very, very annoying, that sort of mentality. But what about games generally? Do you not really look up the guides for games?
It really depends on what the game is. I will be metagaming KOTOR going forward. I really want to see what I can pull together with.
Yeah, you should do it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go.
Bye.
Get out of here. Bye.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I'll send you the guidebook or the guide like worksheet. It basically is there's like a really nice one that I found.
There's a specific genre of video game that I think absolutely relies on metagaming, and that genre is survival craft games.
Oh yeah, really? You think this?
I do think that.
Yeah, they do.
Because you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just wanted to throw side eyes at you.
Little side eyes. Yeah. Little wild milquetoast opinion there, Dale. Wow.
Or, no, just a very Dale opinion.
Oh.
My uncle's problem with metagaming is I have a hard time not doing it if I don't think it's a game I'm likely to finish otherwise.
Yeah.
And so a lot of games that are just, they're mildly piquing my interest, I'll just like, well, fuck, I'll just look it up and get it right and get it done. And that's kind of sad.
Yep.
But
I like exploring and finding things out at first.
I do too. And I find myself not doing that because the metagame is more efficient. And it's so broken. It's a broken part of my brain. And I have a hard time not doing it. And I hate it every time. But every time I do it, it's what I do.
And it burns your interest.
Yeah.
Recently, if I find a game that I'm like, oh, this has got some hooks in me, I really enjoy this experience, I will tell myself, no metagaming.
Me too.
Do not go to a subreddit. Do not look up player
That's how I was
guides.
with Disco. As soon as I played 5 seconds of Disco Elysium, I knew I could not look shit up until I finished the game.
Yeah.
And that was the right move.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Suzor. What would you add to KOTOR? Swoop bike customization.
I would add swoop bike customization. I'd make it work.
And I would just extend that, more customization, more mod options. You know, I think a sequel would be a great opportunity for more mod options.
Would you adjust anything to do with the script? Any character changes? Would you want them to make a remake with few updates?
I would de-misogynist Karth in a heartbeat.
Yep.
And do you think there are enough different alien species in KOTOR? If not, what more do you want to see?
There's some cool ones. The Cellcath are cool.
I like the Cellcath.
The two-headed species. That
Yeah,
you see
I was gonna bring up
a couple times.
It is weird that
Pretty
you can
neat.
basically go like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
More BioWare
Yeah.
lib shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the variety.
Cathar?
For a 2003 game, I thought there was a decent variety.
A lot of Twi'leks.
What other problems do you think adding additional creatures and aliens could open up for your character to solve?
They would solve more racism. I'm sure about that.
They'd certainly try.
They would certainly try.
It might mix up gameplay a little bit on a planet like Dantooine or Kashyyyk, where you're fighting the same exact enemy over and over and over and over again.
They should let me be an alien. Is actually the real thing.
Yeah, that too.
I just want to be a Duros.
Oh, really?
For no reason in particular. I just want to be a Duros farmer that put down the blaster after becoming disenfranchised with the monarchical structure that he was once akin to. And then he will find out that his greater purpose has to do with the light that drives us all within.
Uh-huh.
That's spontaneous.
It's just totally random,
Yeah.
right off the dome.
Off the dome.
I always wanted to be a Zabrak because horns.
Horns.
They
Yeah.
got horns, man.
Who doesn't
cool.
love to be horny?
Huh.
And the last question of today is Spectre of Socialisms. What are items that you do not think would translate well from the original to a remake with today's gaming standards? And I have a resounding nothing. Everything in this game's perfect. No. I don't know. I like the game. I don't think...
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that needs to be removed.
The real-time pausable with combat rounds, I could see being rocky for people to like understand. Just the way the combat works.
True, I guess
Dragon Age did it.
I have to...
Oh.
Yeah, I
and
also
those
have
are
to
pretty recent games.
Yeah, they are.
I also have to kind of put myself in the mind of normies, and I have a hard time with that.
Yeah, this is an game for me. This is an early one, so I can't imagine anything else to some degree. This
It's
is
really good.
This is what I expect from RPGs.
There was at one point that I was playing this game that I said to Faden, this is a 20-year-old game. Why are video games not this good anymore?
Yeah, I thought that a lot. while
Why
playing
are
the
video
game.
games not this good?
Especially like
It's a
playing Baldur's
complete
Gate 3
package.
where it has more stuff, but it feels less...
less meaningful.
Baldur's Gate 3 adds mechanics you see in KOTOR 2 without giving you anything near the quality of KOTOR 2's
It's
of
really
storytelling.
weird.
Yeah.
Or even just like KOTOR 1 is just like, this is a game that maybe it's because it's so specifically a thing.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, your character is Revan. No matter what you do. And so Baldur's Gate 3, you can kind of be a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And so it has less direction in that sort of sense, less like character arc. Whereas like, this is the story of Revan.
Yeah. There's less room for depth.
Yeah.
Because there's so much breadth.
And
so much breadth. Yeah.
I'm worried because I know remake's still trying to be still trying to be worked out, but my concern is they're going to try to add more Baldur's Gate 3 style options to KOTOR, a story where it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I think there are KOTOR 2 elements that would work well in KOTOR 1, but I don't know that there are modern game elements that would fit well in KOTOR 1.
Or 2.
Or 2.
Yeah.
You say or 2 so confidently.
Yeah.
You know, I know.
You're getting the vibes.
I'm getting the vibes.
Yeah.
And that's it for questions. If you'd like to ever ask us questions, find me, hunt me down, message me personally.
Get at Faden on Twitter.
Get at Faden. I'm at Faden Cross. You can also find me at co-host. I like co-host sometimes. If you know me on Discord, just DM me. What are we playing next month?
We're starting a new year next month. A new year, no theme next year.
No theme next year.
We're picking 12 solid games.
I mean, it's like games that we just have always wanted to play, kind of, I think.
Kind of, but there's some new games in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I've always wanted to play Thirsty Suitors? A game
I mean,
that's been out for 2 months.
ever since I saw it first shown, yes, I can say that actually.
Okay.
Because that game looks like extremely my shit.
Well, all right. Bad example.
Example.
Yeah, we're going to do Deus Ex to open up the year 24.
Yeah.
Deus Ex, the original 2000. Came out in 2000. And
2000, right?
J.C. Denton.
And Uncle, you're joining us for that again.
And I'm so excited to. It's a game I've always wanted to play. It's a game right up my alley from other games I have played. And I've played one of the sequels.
Is there more than one?
Yeah, Deus Ex Become Human and Human Revolution.
Oh,
forgot about Become
you're thinking the reboots.
Yeah, the reboots. Yes,
I was like,
reboots.
I thought you were
yes.
saying you played Invisible War.
No, I've not played. I know about Invisible War, but no, I have not played Invisible War. No, but I did play the reboot, the first reboot that came out, and
Adam.
Yes, Adam
Jensen.
also sunglasses guy.
I didn't ask for
And,
this.
yes, and I really enjoyed that game. I
like the first
barely
one.
finished it, but I enjoyed it, and I know a lot about Deus Ex.
I'm about halfway through the first mission, and already I can tell you that this has the greatest video game flashlight I've ever experienced.
Excellent.
This is definitely an improvement of our original plan.
I agree. We were going to do Starfield, but
Ooh.
nah.
I liked it enough, but
It was fine.
it's mid.
I tell you, I had no interest in it from the first trailer to the last trailer to now. I have
Here's the thing,
no
though.
interest, and I loved Bethesda games. Starfield never spoke to me.
Faden and I agreed we couldn't really make an interesting podcast on a game that's just fine.
Or
Yeah.
we'd rather do Deus Ex.
We'd rather do Deus Ex.
And this is a very important game to gaming.
Yeah.
I know, though I haven't played it, that this game had a huge impact on what games are.
Yeah, it was like one of the big immersive sims that took off.
Yes.
That and Thief, kind of
And-
same era too.
And same company, same engine.
Yep.
Oh shit!
Yes.
I didn't know
The
same
Dark
company.
Engine. Yeah.
It's too dark out here. I can't see shit.
But it's so good because the video game flashlight works so well.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, yeah, keep an eye out for that. Before that episode comes out, though, we're going to have a special episode. If you're hearing this and it's, I don't know, it might be too late. But send us
Hearing this, it's too late.
Send us Game of the Year categories, because Dale and I are going to do what we did last year. We're going to do a bracket to determine what Game Club game was the best game that we played this year. And we're going to do Game of the Year categories as a little side bonus episode.
Yeah. So, like, think of games that you could say, what was the best game of the year that featured pigeons, or one that one of our listeners came up with. Best game with the train.
With a train. Best train. Not train game, but best game with the train.
Game with the train. Yeah. Not a game about trains, but games that have trains in them.
Yeah. So that should be fun.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Yeah, until next month. Goodbye.
We got games to go play.
I gotta get out of this room.